Hello and welcome, viewer, to Draining the Swamp. Tonight, we'll be telling a story set in Morgan City, but not the real Morgan City. Our story will be set in the world of darkness of Renegade Games' Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition, a world where nights are a bit darker and more oppressive, and if you're unlucky, you may run into a monster or two. We aren't telling a story about monsters or about Morgan City. Our story tonight is about four hunters coming to, if they're lucky enough, get rid of one of those monsters. Please be warned that our story tonight is for mature audiences only. It will have body horror, blood, graphic violence, drugs, and references to sexual activity. Please keep that in mind when considering where you are viewing and who you are viewing it with. But if all of that sounds to your liking, or won't scare you too much, let's come with us as we tell a hunter story.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 7th episode of Draining the Swamp, our Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition campaign. I am the GM here, and we are taking this story back from where we last left it, which was pretty long time ago, about a month ago, I think, that we last did episode 6. Our hunters are currently still in Morgan City. They have split up. Two of them are currently in Ophelia's apartment, moving the safe house because they felt their safe house was maybe not as safe as they originally had thought. And then, meanwhile, two others are currently at the Southern Louisiana State College, and they're looking into some stuff there. There was a meeting in a coffee shop that led to some information about the dead construction worker that started this whole thing off, and his circle of friends, and their circle of friends, etc. Meanwhile, Dr. Dreyfus was looking into the department head of the psychology department and was seeing things around the campus that were standing out as a little strange, but also discovered that this head of the department is meeting with a couple of people that seem a bit out of place and in locations that they are now aware are not the best locations for people to meet. So we're fully entrenched in some kind of grand conspiracy here in Morgan City, as well as the dark thing that exists that they're still looking into, that they haven't quite made motions for yet, because it's realistically only been about a day since they found out about it. And so that's where we begin. So who wants to be the first ones that I focus the camera on? Is it Ophelia and Joseph? Or is it Dr. Dreyfus? Or is it Alex, who's technically not in the same place as Dr. Dreyfus, but at least on the same campus?
I'll go.
Okay. So I believe that the last thing that happened to Alex was that after stepping out of the coffee shop, she literally ran into the girl who works at the Red Roof Motel, the gothic girl that seems to think that she's some kind of seems to think that Alex is some kind of prostitute. But she was up to something weird and being strange, and so there was a little bit of a moment from Alex as the girl walked away.
And I'm going to try to tail her unnoticed.
Gotcha. Tailing unnoticed is something that you do fairly well, right? That is your thing.
Part of my thing, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. 4 dex, 2 skill, plus our current desperation is 2, right?
Our current desperation is 2. Yes, well, it's 2 for now.
Okay.
Getting to the right page in the book. Her name is Alda, if you remember. Her name is Alda.
It's only 2 until I start rolling.
That's the danger. It's 2 right now because Dr. Dreyfus hasn't rolled the dice in a while. The desperation's at 2, but things are starting to get a little desperate. So we'll see what happens in the next
Let's see. I do
hour or so.
base dice, and then there we go. Desperation 2. Come on. Very nice. 4 successes.
4 successes to remain unseen. Okay. So you tail behind her. Oh man, I have a different dice spot than we use in our other game, so I have to remember how to use this one. So you tail behind her with 4 successes. You manage to stay pretty well hidden as from her side anyway. Like you're not exactly hiding, as it were. You're blending into the crowd of people moving around this fairly small but still fairly busy campus. You know, you stand behind a tree at the right time so that when she looks back, she doesn't see you. You go up to some college students who are drinking coffee, like stand there with them, and she just walks right by you, that kind of thing, as you tail her. She just seems to be moving through campus fairly aimlessly until she gets to another what appears to be sort of a gardener's shack kind of structure on the campus where they probably store garbage cans or something. At least that's what it looks like from the outside. And then she looks around. Once again, you see this symbol that appears to be a fountain pen, like engraved in the stone above this shack structure. It's something that's supposed to look nice, right? But she looks around for a little bit, and then she seems to fiddle with the master lock that's holding this little shack door closed, opens it up, and then goes inside.
I will slip up next to it and listen for a minute to see if I can hear anything in there. Just around the corner so she wouldn't bump into me coming out.
So you're going to listen. I guess that's an awareness roll, right? Maybe a wits and awareness roll.
Since I'm still doing criminal activity, is this still desperation die?
For listening, probably not.
Everybody knows only criminals have ears.
How do I trigger this thing, by the way? I'm just trying to remember. Help me
out. 3 successes. Trigger what thing?
The roller on the app. It's been so long since I've used it.
Oh. /R and then the roller you want. If you have more than one.
/R.
/1.
Huh, okay. It's not coming up on my thing for some reason. Weird.
Should be WOD if you're using the same one as in the Journey to the Swamp Discord.
There we go. Okay, perfect. In case I need to roll against you. Got it. Cool. I just wanted to make sure that I had it ready if I needed to roll against you. All right, so you listen with, you said 3 successes?
Yep.
Yeah, listening inside, you don't hear anything. You don't hear the sounds of anyone talking, no one sniffling or breathing, no coughing, rustling of garbage cans. It's a very small shack. Like, honestly, if she's in there, then she's just kind of standing. Like, there's nowhere she could sit inside this shack. It's not very big or wide.
Did she leave the door unlocked?
She had to, because she couldn't close it behind herself. It was just a master
Right.
lock. It's still hanging there.
Okay. I peek inside.
Opening the door, you find a staircase that goes down.
Yeah, I thought so. Text the group chat. Following Alda into secret underground lair. Send help if not back in an hour. And location ping and send.
Oh, there you go. Location ping. Smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just disappearing for a while, everyone. Don't worry about me. Yeah. Secret lair.
Response, secret lair or parents' basement?
LOL, picture of the staircase.
Why not both?
It's a little banter.
While Bradley's having to explain to me the whole, what this pin drop thing is. I pretend to understand.
If my last words aren't a quip, I've done something wrong. And yeah, into the darkness.
Yep, and it is dark.
Quietly, if possible.
It is dark. All right, so go ahead and make a stealth roll then again for me, and you get to add your desperation dice to that because it's a sneaky criminal
Can't just
activity.
use the same one?
No, I'm gonna have you roll it again because you went through a door. Things are slightly different now.
Okay. Desperation 2. Come on, baby. I'm gonna reroll my failures.
I see a big exclamation point there, though.
Yeah, that rerolled failure was. I got an additional success, but also.
So, the
No,
question
desperate success.
becomes, do you want to accept a failure or do you want to overreach?
Well, overreaching is going to be more interesting.
Okay.
And that's the one that doesn't make the danger go up.
Overreaching is the one that makes the danger go up.
Ah, shit.
So you either succeed and the danger goes up, or you fail and go into despair. And for you,
Yeah.
let's see what you have to do for despair to get it to go away. Just want to double check. What is your drive again?
Vengeance.
Vengeance. You have to hurt your quarry directly or by proxy.
Cool.
And you have so many quarries at this point.
Yeah. A list. I have a list.
Just a hit list. Just a hit list of people you got to take out. Danger or despair?
We're back from a break. Let's get dangerous.
All right, let's get dangerous. That seems like a smart way to go about it. Plus, despair sucks. Take it from a guy who's now had a character in despair for 3 sessions. It sucks. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. In the other game, because of my drive, I have to literally step in front of buses to get my despair to go away. Yeah.
Dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be big brain.
What are you trying to pay your tuition?
Curiosity.
That tuition comment reminded me. I'm kind of building a D&D world, and one of the things it's going to have is bandit wizards. Because they're people who went to wizards college and realized
they dropped
I don't
out.
have enough skills to make money.
They dropped out of wizard college.
Yeah, I got to pay my tuition. I got to pay off my debt. I can throw fire.
It's the great
ain't
fantasy
helping us
evils.
now.
You know, you've got Sauron, you've got Darth Vader, and more evil than all of them, student loan debt.
Sally Mae is an endgame villain.
Nice.
That's a whole adventure right there.
And you find that's the end of the campaign. It's the big bad at the end of the campaign.
Sally Mae.
The big bad's just late stage capitalism. Don't lie to me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, so raising the danger. I may or may not have to raise the desperation in a moment. Raising the danger, you come down the stairs quietly, very quietly. And as you get near the bottom of the stairs, you can hear the voices of people talking. It's echoing in a way that suggests to you that there's like a larger chamber, which, you know, you kind of already assumed, right? Like you already assumed there was a lair, and that's what you texted the group. You get to the bottom of the stairs, and you can definitely hear the voices now. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 voices.
Doesn't stop.
Shit.
9 voices. I was trying to remember how many there were. It's been a while since I've looked at my notes. There are 9 voices that you hear. There's a couple of female voices and a couple of male voices. They all have some of them sound more Louisiana than others, as it were, right? They all have the sound that they are from the area. Like nobody sounds like they're from California or New York or something. They all just sound like they're from the area. But some of them are a little bit more of the stronger accent, as it were, right? But they're having a argument, as far as you can tell, and the argument has something to do with following the directives.
Okay, phone record.
Yep. It's not making any sense, but it seems like someone is saying that they should do something, because now Alda is reporting to the group that she thinks that you're following her because she saw you on campus. And so she thinks that maybe you're on to her. And the others are telling her that she's being paranoid. But then the final voice is the voice of a stern older woman, who's the one that's telling them they need to stick to the directive and not deviate from what they're being told. And if they want to advance, then they must follow the commands, essentially.
I'd like to try and get a look at this older woman.
Looking into the chamber, you find it to actually not be like a creepy underground cave or something. It's like it seems like it's like an old study. There's like a bunch of leather chairs, some like leather couches, for lack of a better word. They're kind of like those like half couches where there's like a long, there's like an end to sit on, but then it goes out longer and there's no back to it or something, like almost like a bed to some extent. There's like a brick fireplace. There's some bookshelves, and there appear to be other entrances, right? So there's probably other ways down into this place from here, as far as you can tell. There's regular lighting. It has like normal lamps on the walls that seem to be lit up. There's a light switch near you. You don't know what it controls exactly, but there is a light switch on the wall near where you're at. And then there is these 9 people. They are very young. You see Alda standing. She's the prettiest of them, but they're all really good-looking people. There's a dark-skinned girl, a Hispanic girl, an Asian girl. As far as you can tell, there's some Latina girl, and then a guy that looks like he should be the quarterback of the football team. Everyone here looks very pretty, right? And they're all wearing stylish clothes, though they all seem to have this sort of fake veneer to it. This like with the Hot Topic goth that you noticed with Aldo, where there's something about their clothes that makes it feel like they bought whatever was in the window at whatever store and were trying to mimic exactly the way the mannequin looked, rather than. But they all also have like random, cheap, occult-looking things. The final, like a necklace that's got like a star on it and stuff that's made of plastic or something. Things that just stand out as like they want to believe something, but are not actually like putting any effort into doing any, like making anything or buying anything authentic or expensive. But the final person looks like the nun that was in the church. that you saw on the first day when you arrived in Morgan City. The scar on her face is still prominent, and she still has a stern look. She's a short, older woman, and she is dressed kind of like she was the day you saw her, in a nun's outfit.
Okay. Does it sound like they're wrapping up?
It does. It does. She's still concerned, but they're basically disregarding what she's saying.
So they're not going to go through with whatever it was.
Well, they're not going to go through with her plan to do something about seeing you on campus, but they're being told that they have to follow the rules, and they seem to be like, okay, yeah, we get it. We'll do what we're told.
Interesting.
Around the room as well, there are pictures. Like, these seem to be portraits of various individuals. It looks like this is some kind of boys' club or something that's been around for a very long time.
Cool. I think I'm just gonna peace out on this. If I have a good look at the people, and I know that the nun is the one running it, I'm gonna split before they find out I was there.
Okay.
Tempting though it is, just barge in and be like, "Hey, y'all." Much as that would be the dramatic choice, I'm gonna withdraw.
Okay. So you head back up the stairs, and now is when I'll trigger the danger. You head back up the stairs, and right about then is when some of the texts that you were getting come in, and your phone makes a chirpity beep. Just before you get to the top of the stairs. Now you are at the top enough that you can slip out through the door just fine. But you get the distinct feeling that at least one person heard that inside, down below.
Darn. Okay. I'm going to call Father Martin.
Father Martin or Dr. Dreyfus?
Yeah.
Just to make sure. Okay.
No, Father Martin.
Okay. You give him a call. It picks up on like the third ring. He says, "Yes, hello. Who is this?"
Hey, it's Alex.
Ah,
your,
Alex. Yes.
Friends from out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to ask you, do we know the nun's name? I feel like we learned it at some point.
Yes, you would have learned the nun's name. And again, I got to reference my notes. See what happens when I'm super busy. Sister Mary Angelique. That's her name.
Hey, so were you aware that Sister Mary Angelique is running some kind of like literally underground cult thing over at the college?
Cult thing at the college. I know that she's been working with some of the college students on the garden.
Yeah, they're talking about secret missions and wearing like fake occult symbolism.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
Can you tell me anything about her?
She's...
I'm also like, I'm moving away from this door.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I assume that you're
Keeping a low
moving into like the
profile.
crowds and like trying to maybe go inside like a student union building or something to just
Yeah,
disappear from the area.
If these 12 plucky youngsters came looking for me, I want to be unfindable.
Right. I get that. And
Cool.
that you're the kind who gets unfindable as fast as possible, so we're not going to make you roll for it.
Practice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, she's been with the church for a long time. She transferred here from Europe, I believe, many years ago. She was here before me. Came after the restructuring of Morgan City, and helps with most of the outreach. She's a very quiet person, mostly because of her disfigurement. Yeah, that's what I know.
Okay.
So
You wouldn't
we
happen to know where
suspect that she's involved in what's happening then. Okay.
One way or the other. She might be trying to do her own hunter business, or she
Mhm.
might be trying to. I don't know.
Hmm.
Does she know you were a hunter?
She does.
Okay. Then
She does because she had some contact with the Society of St. Leopold at some point in her past.
okay. What does that name mean to me? I don't think
I don't think
Alex
Alex
knows
has
about the society.
any knowledge
Cool.
whatsoever what that means.
I assume that's a hunter org of some kind.
Yes, it's one of the ones that the Vatican unofficially sponsors.
Cool. So she's like a hardliner,
Now I'm
probably.
suspecting something else. If
Mm.
what you're saying is true, then I will play my cards close to the vest, as they say. I won't share
Right.
information with her unless we want to see what happens with that information. Fortunately, I haven't shared any information with her yet. She did ask who you were and why I was speaking with you, and I said that Dr. Dreyfus was an old friend.
Like, I don't want you to get. Let me put it this way. It'd be really great if you could find out what her agenda is without giving her the opportunity to like stab you.
Mm-hmm. Wise plan.
We've got a lot on our plate right now,
Yeah.
and knowing if those are friends or enemies would be super helpful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will do
If
what
you
I
need
can
backup,
do.
hit us up. But
No, I think I can talk to some old contacts that I know that are still involved with the society and find out what I can find out.
appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me this information. It does give me something to look at differently.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Click. Hey guys, lair investigated. Tell you later. And I think that's me.
Okay. Should we remain on campus and go over to Dr. Dreyfus, or is Dr. Dreyfus just going to try to find Alex?
How close is it to when the department head, whose name I can't remember, is meeting with Dr. Octavian?
His meeting with Dr. Octavian wasn't happening until dinner time. It's like 7 o'clock. It is only currently like 1 p.m. ish.
Okay, then I will. Then
because
I will move to Alex.
Because all that's happened so far in this day is that you woke up, found out they were gone, figured out where they were, met up with them, had breakfast burritos and things, and grits and stuff, and then
learned how much they fucked everything up.
Yep, and then you went to the university, and Joseph and Ophelia went to like pack up and move the important stuff into the new safe house, and that's all that's happened. So it's only like 1 in the afternoon.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure how early or late the dinner meeting was.
Yeah, the dinner meeting's not till after sundown. That's a thing. Something that would flag for you who notices patterns.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since these guys are getting into early bird special time frames. And,
sorry. Let me remember. I think I actually have that a little messed up. I remember that the meeting with the mayor wasn't happening until that was the dinner meeting. He's currently supposed to be meeting with Dr. Octavian right now, or something, or he's meeting.
Yeah,
with the
weren't
mayor.
they at like a? I thought they were like at a coffee shop or something like that, and that's where I was going.
No, so he's supposedly, if I remember correctly, he's actually supposed to be at Dr. Octavian's house right now, according to his secretary.
Gotcha.
And then he has a meeting later at dinner with the mayor, which is after sunset.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Dr. Octavian's residence, whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I will move to Alex then.
Okay. All right then. And there was, just to remind you, there were some strange signs around the campus that you had seen, but I don't know if you want to or have time to investigate them too thoroughly.
Well, yeah, it was like the architecture and the layout and all of that stuff
was
were
pointing to some kind of
um,
hero's journey-esque story.
yes,
Yep.
yes. Yeah, I will investigate it a little bit more, maybe until I feel like I've hit some kind of, okay, I think I've gotten what I'm getting. And yeah, to check, okay, what buildings are what stages of the hero's journey, and kind of what archetypes are being interacted with at each place.
Make a intelligence plus occult roll for me, if you could.
Okay. And that would allow me to do the desperation dice.
That would.
Intelligence, and what were you saying?
Occult.
Occult. So. Okay. That is 6. Two desperation dice still?
Yes, we will say that it is still 2 for now.
Four successes.
All right. That is enough. You follow the story of the hero that is being told by the architecture and the gargoyles and the small inlets of different like motifs and reliefs on the buildings. It sort of leads to a point where the story doesn't finish the whole hero's journey, as it were. I think I said last time that it did, but actually looking over my notes, it doesn't. It gets to the point where the hero is supposed to descend to the underworld, and it leads you from the from the library to the administrative building, and that's where the story reaches its sort of peak, and it's not complete after that.
So almost as if the hero descended the underworld when going into the administration building.
Exactly.
What a wonderfully apt metaphor for higher education.
You just been staring at architecture this whole time? Says Alex from behind you.
Yes, it's quite fascinating. So this architecture, this campus, seems to have been built with not necessarily traditional architecture in mind. It's some kind of metaphysical geometry that is matching the hero's journey that Joseph Campbell had posited. It's quite fascinating.
So the buildings.
Yes.
So buildings telling a story.
Sort of. It is basically, between some of the relief sculptures on the facades and the way that the buildings kind of point, lead to each other, with their sort of flourishes on the building. Basically, it's telling the story of the heroes receiving the call, refusing the call, seeking a mentor, and as he descends into the underworld, the story ends at that building over there, and I point to the administration building.
So proceed with caution.
the underworld could mean several things. And it could mean something more literal, like going into a hell. But it can also be, and often is, symbolic of something that allows you to transform for the better. So I don't know. There is something significant about that building.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it is for woe or for weal.
Well, we could find out. I think we'll have to go in.
A different kind of weal.
Uh-huh.
But yes, let's investigate. And I'm gonna kind of look around, like, the building itself to see if there is anything architecturally significant that makes me feel, quite possibly unnatural, with one of the doors, like, in particular.
The door to the outside of the administration or inside the administrative building?
Outside, to enter the administration building. I'm curious what feels like the actual gate to the underworld.
The only what appears to be door on the exterior of the administration building is the one door. This building feels like it was not necessarily designed to be an administrative building initially, but it certainly is now. There's really only one entrance to or from it, and it's this typical standard door. There's like an overhang and some pillars, but it's just a regular door. But it is clearly labeled administrative building. Like, it has one of those, like, affixed plaques on it, right?
Right. Is it, how big is it?
It's 3 stories tall. One of the taller buildings in the area, but, because nothing's really over 3 stories around. Yeah, and only one door.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's curious. I would certainly think there would be more doors, just at the minimum for fire cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seems weird. Quick question. You got a weapon on you? No?
No.
Okay. I take out a knife from my bag. Just, like, stick that inside your belt under your shirt. Semper Paratus, my man.
Well, I was never in the Coast Guard, but let me...
Is that where that's from?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's go.
Yeah, I very ineptly attempt to hide a K-bar in my... Like, that's what I'm imagining you gave me, is, like...
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, it's very awkward and does not make for easy movement, and I'm definitely fidgeting with it quite a bit.
Okay. So
hopefully we won't need that.
Into the building you go, and when you walk into the lobby or the entryway, you can tell this was probably built to be someone's kind of mansion home, or like a dormitory for teachers or something. It was a housing type situation, not like a administrative building, right? But as you come in, they've converted various rooms into rooms with cubicles. They each have like this plastic plaque, like engraved plaque thing on the wall next to the door that says, like, registrar and like business services and things like that. And there's people. You can hear the computers. You can hear people chitter chattering. Somebody laughing in the back. Sounds like the glug glug of like a water container. Certainly just feels like your typical administrative building, as it were, for a college. Just that kind of stuff. There's a sign that points upstairs for counselors. of various degrees. You know, like the major counselors, that kind of stuff. But then like there's something about in the door frames, the motif continues, and it shows a person, like it's like a person walking, and they all of the motifs you notice lead to a basement door, and it's labeled, like it's got one of those on the door, affixed to the door, that says like administration only, do not enter. It's like, it doesn't say do not enter, it's just like that the feeling of the message is like, this is administrators only. But you notice that on the other side of the door, again, there's the motifs of somebody traveling somewhere, but they're going back in. So like they go one way leading up to the door, and then past the door, it looks like they're coming from the other way. So they're all like, this door is where they're headed. But it's just like in like little, yeah. But they're just like little tiny like little pictures of like little motifs like in like the molding around. And there's a couple places where it gets a little different because someone looks like they've replaced a piece of like the baseboard or something. But like the original wood.
Almost like marginalia.
Yeah.
From like, yeah. Okay. And so I'm like, so these little sculptures, they seem to have a point, and they seem to be leading us here. How unnatural does the door feel? And I don't need my book anymore because I have hands free.
So the door doesn't really feel unnatural. You're not really getting any feels off of it. Okay. It just feels like a normal door.
Okay. Does it have any like obvious like key card or?
Nope, just has like a regular handle. It does look like there's a key lock in it, like in the handle itself, but it's like an old knob, essentially.
Yeah, and is the door solid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to listen at the door.
Okay. I'm not going to make you make a roll. You can't really hear anything at the door because you just hear all of the people around you. There's enough noise that like there's not much to hear. When you have to like really put your ear to the door to listen beyond it, and all you can hear is a kind of buzzing or humming, like electronic lighting kind of thing. Like there's fluorescent lights beyond the door. But there are some people like walking around, and somebody kind of stops, like taps some paper, and they like look down the hallway at you for a second. Is Bradley with you? I don't remember if Bradley was with you or not.
I think he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say he's with you now.
He was my into the Yeah.
So we'll say he's with you. We'll just he might have finished a lecture or some other thing, whatever it was that he was doing before. We're gonna say that he's with you now, and at this point he steps in and sort of walks up to that person and just starts talking to them, like he's trying to distract them. Like he's like, "Oh, sorry, I was looking for the major advisor for the psychology department, etc." And he's like just talking to them because he's supposed to be there. And that person just starts going, "Oh, yeah, well, so it would be up the stairs," and he's not looking at you at the moment.
I guess I will take Bradley's initiative and try the door.
Mm-hmm. You find it unlocked.
I will try to quickly move through the door and assume that Alex will be able to move
right behind
far
him.
more gracefully after me.
Upon opening the door, you find that it is a staircase that goes down, but it's like an old staircase. It does have walls on either side, so you don't have to worry about like falling off of it, but it definitely leads down to a basement. And go ahead.
As once we're inside, I'll be like, so this is a lot like what I just went down. I think there's like a common room down here and maybe a cult. Just a little cult.
Interesting.
Upon getting to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what were you going to say?
I said, upon getting to the bottom of the stairs, you find a regular basement, which is kind of uncommon for Louisiana as a whole. Certainly uncommon here, but it is a stone basement, and inside there's the buzzing of fluorescent lights above your head, and whole bunches of racks of old files and various administrative things. A couple of like dusty computer screens that are sitting off to the side that looks like they were set on top of something temporarily, and that temporary position became a permanent position. That kind of feel, right? It's not super well organized, but you can see that occasionally people come down to do various things, move boxes around or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little damp and fairly cold, but the lights are on for whatever reason, and it just looks like a regular basement, except at one end of the room, you see what appears to be the Eye of Horus. And, weirdly, Dr. Dreyfus, only you see this Eye of Horus on the wall.
Oh.
Without making a roll for you to see the signs, I'm just going to tell you that you see this sign on the wall.
So how about these boxes, huh?
And like I'm like walking over to the Eye of Horus to look at it. So all you see is just me kind of staring at the wall.
Mm-hmm. It's a bare wall that Dreyfus is walking up to and staring at.
And how big is it?
The wall or the Eye of Horus?
The Eye of Horus.
The Eye of Horus is fairly big. Like, it is probably 2 feet in length from side to side and probably 4 feet from top to bottom. So it's this decently sized thing on the wall.
Okay. So it's like on the wall, not like above a desk or
Nope.
anything.
There's nothing else on that wall. The wall itself is clear. There's no racks or shelves or boxes stacked in front of it.
I don't know if I should make a roll for this or because I am drawing a blank on what the Eye of Horus tends to have associated with it.
Yeah, sure.
Horus,
You can.
Egyptian sun god.
No, I know that, but
Yeah.
well, Horus was his son.
Right, because that's Ra.
Is it like protection? My only knowledge of Egyptian mythology is the Percy Jackson spinoff called I don't remember the title, but I seem to remember that being the association the Eye of Horus had.
Yeah, it's something like that. But I don't know, what would that be?
That would be a cult. It would be probably intelligence in a cult or wits in a cult. Probably
Alrighty.
intelligence in a cult. Yeah.
I'm like watching him out of the corner of my eye, and also like seeing if the computers work, looking at the names on these file boxes,
Mm-hmm.
looking for clues.
Yeah, they just full of a bunch of files.
I know apparently everything about the Eye of Horus because that is 7 successes and a crit.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Eye of
Yeah,
Horus.
I know. I just must have read a book yesterday about the Eye of Horus. Like that's what I read when I was listening to an audiobook about it on my drive down to from Shreveport.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
The Eye of Horus was stolen by the god Set and replaced by the god Thoth. The Eye of Horus is generally considered a symbol for magical power or protective magical power in the general society. It's a little unclear what the Egyptians really thought about the Eye of Horus, but it does come up quite a bit in various texts and usually associated with both Horus and Thoth. And Thoth being, the god of magic in many senses in the Egyptian beliefs. It is said to not be the original eye, as the eye was stolen by Set and destroyed. So it is the replaced magical eye of Horus, and said to, essentially be magical and represent the moon, various other things like that.
Mike, you don't see this?
Don't see. I walk over to the wall and like.
Do you touch the wall?
mean-
Do either of you touch the wall?
No, I am not touching the wall yet.
Okay.
But
I'm definitely reaching out to touch, being like, "What is he talking about?"
As you touch the wall, Alex, you feel a strange coldness come over you. And sorry, the dog barking is quite loud. Do you feel a feeling of coldness come over
even
you?
worse than first.
I believe it. I believe it. And then you hear something in your head, like it's a voice, but it's a voice that seems to like start off as kind of a breathing or a whisper, like an air sound, and then eventually becomes clear as you realize it's not just like a but it's actually like words. And you hear the question, "Why are you here?"
I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it pushes again and says, "Why are you here?" It gets louder and louder until you choose to answer.
Hey, why are we here? Why are we here? It's asking, why are we here?
And it's getting louder and
Whatever the thing
louder.
you said.
We seek knowledge.
We seek knowledge.
The voice calms back down, and then another breathy, airy sound eventually comes out, and you hear, "What is your greatest fear?"
Oh, well, that feels personal. Is this one being repetitive too?
Yeah, it continues to grow louder and louder.
I turn to you. I'm like, it wants to know what my fear is. I also take a couple steps back from the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we dealing with here?
The
What is this thing?
the voice is
I
continuing
would
in
be
your head.
honest. It knows, so be honest.
I think at this point, Alex does not want to go there because her deepest fears are pretty deep. So there's not. I'm just gonna try to like, I don't know, power through it.
Take one
Ignore it.
superficial willpower damage
Cool.
as the voice continues to grow and grow in your head.
Cool. Oh, did we regain willpower between sessions?
Yeah, you would have.
Oh,
Why
sick.
not? Yeah. Just because it's been a while. I'll be
Cool.
nice. But you took one superficial willpower damage.
As I do not want to tell this thing. I don't want to answer. I don't want to think about that.
Mm-hmm. The pressure begins to grow in your brain.
What's wrong?
It won't stop asking. It's starting to hurt.
It knows. Do you know?
Take one superficial health damage.
It... I'm also trying to think of what Alex's greatest fear would be.
Okay. I'll give you a second
And
to think about it.
I think at this point, she starts thinking about
I'd imagine it'd be tied to like the drive and redemption and stuff.
yeah. She goes back to, she wasn't really afraid when her mom started to lose it. That didn't really make sense. It was just adults doing adult. Her dad leaving was sad. That wasn't really afraid of that. Even when she started going to places that, like, serious drug dens and, like, making deals with shady people. It's just like doing business. You know, my mom's doing stuff. I'm meeting people. It probably wasn't until her mom disappeared that she realized, and she drops to her knees and slams her hands on the ground and says, "I'm afraid of being alone."
The pressure in your head goes back, fades away. And then you hear another voice, another word, another airy thing, and it says, "What is your biggest secret?" Dr. Dreyfus, make for me
Yeah.
a wits and awareness roll for me, if you could.
Gladly. This have the desperation dice. Gaining information while on the hunt.
I guess so. This is informational.
4.
4. Okay. You become aware of the fact that the air has gone very cold in this basement. It was damp and chill before, but like now it's super cold to the point where you can actually see your breath. You can see Alex's breath. And the sound that I've been describing that Alex is hearing, this sort of air sound in her head, you're starting to hear it, but not in your head, but as if it's like physically in the room. Like you hear this sound. So the last question, what is your biggest secret? You can, it's not really super audible, but because you got 4 successes, you can hear this sound over the din of like people walking around and the creaking of boards above your head. You can hear the question, what is your biggest secret? And you become aware that there's some unseen thing in the room with you.
I'm gonna hit my drug, my booster.
Okay.
I pull out a silvery syringe and jam myself in the leg.
Dr. Dreyfus, you see a syringe come out, and Alex jams it into her leg.
Still, like,
what are you doing?
There's no time to get high.
Okay. I'm looking up at you. I'm like, what is happening? I can answer it, but is that good?
It's some sort of test. Thoth supposedly knows everything. So
What's a Thoth?
What did you just call me?
He's an Egyptian god. He knows knowledge and magic, and is often used in conjunction with the Eye of Horus, which is what you touched.
Okay. Knowledge God. Deepest secret. Oh. And I hold the syringe in my hand. Oh. And I pull out my book, and I'm like, it's this. And I like flip through to some of my diagrams on how I made the syringe, on how I made this drug that like gives me some supernatural power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, knowledge God, here's a thing, here's a secret.
You feel this coldness come over you, as if a hand reaches out and touches your hand as you hold the book. It is icy cold, but the pressure in your head fades away, and the coldness fades away quickly. And as this is happening, as you feel it fade, as you feel this like very cold touch, and then it just sort of goes back, it fades away, there's a movement in the stone, and a door kind of appears, like the bricks move in a little bit. There was obviously a hidden door that pops open a little.
Oh boy. Unfun. Oh, head.
We need to take some time to process this later. We can do so. It sounds like they dug up quite a bit.
Good news. Puts the syringe away. I'm a little stronger for the next couple hours.
We might need that.
Look.
Let's see what's let's see what this secret passage. I've never been in a secret passage before. This is quite fascinating.
Cool. One sec. Going into second secret lair. If not back in hour, send help. Location pin. Send. Mute phone.
Ophelia, should we leave?
Check my phone.
Two secret. We're missing all the fun.
In the space
Listen,
of like 10 minutes.
we need to finish moving, Joseph. We don't have.
I don't care where the silverware goes.
Oh, I'm happy you don't care where the silverware goes. I need to know where the silverware goes.
Are you expecting guests?
I mean,
We've got monsters to hunt.
Why did I have to find you guys? Why did I have to find you guys?
Don't go pointing guns at strangers and your life won't be this way. But that's not the world we live in, is it, Ophelia?
You just got really real.
Headaches. You give me headaches. That's
I
all.
almost pissed my pants and I give you headaches?
Yes.
I wasn't gonna kill you.
If you're gonna piss your pants, we have bigger problems.
My pants are unpissed. Okay?
Please don't piss your pants in my apartment.
If you let me
I'm
leave the
begging
apartment, maybe
you.
I won't. Let's go.
Is
Let's
this
go
a
figure out what the
Are you trying to make a threat to piss in my apartment? Like,
Yes.
is this really a conversation that we're having now?
Yeah. If we keep arranging your kitchen cabinets, I'm going to stand here and piss my pants on your clean white carpet.
If you piss your pants on my carpet, I am fucking mushing your face right into your piss bottle.
Then let's go piss my pants in that secret lair.
Why are you pissing your pants?
We'll see where the night takes us, alright?
Don't you have a girlfriend or something you can move in with?
Have you seen the way that I live? Of course not.
Never mind. Let's go. Maybe I need to find a girlfriend to go move in with.
This is the first time he's lived above the surface.
This is the most I've spent outside of my van in years.
Joseph is the actual mole people. I found it. I found the supernatural. The supernatural and the super unreal. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a lot to unpack just now.
that was so good.
Laugh all you want, the threat worked.
We'll get to you in a second. Let's tell them what they find behind the door, and then we can go from there. How about that? So as the door opens, it just immediately becomes a spiral staircase that leads down, but it's not very far. It doesn't lead it leads like it's a decent sized staircase, but like after the first turn, you can see what it leads to. There is a large chamber, once again very similar to the old one, though to you, Alex, the old one you were just in a little while ago. There's brick. There's a fireplace, and there is a very big library. But this very much is dark. There are no lights or lanterns on. Cell phones have, flashlights, fortunately. But it's a big room with a whole lot of books. They all seem to be handwritten. None of them are like published books, as it were. They're all journals and stuff around the room. And you can see these sort of symbols around the room that are very much like a 5-pointed star, but like a weird 5-pointed star. And there's like a circle at the end of each point of the star. And that's what you find at the bottom of the staircase. There doesn't appear to be any other entrances in this place. There's like 2 chairs in the whole room, but it's just rows upon rows of like these journals and things. Not a lot. Honestly, it's only about 100 books, like sort of, or like probably 300 books actually. Now that I think about it, 300 books or so, but in these like short rows and short stacks, essentially.
Does it look like a kind of like a what I would imagine a sanctum would look like from my research?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah. Clearly this is the home to some kind of ritual. These journals. I'll look at, is there one that is, or is there definitely like an order to them? Does it look like some are much older than others?
Yeah, they seem to be stacked in sort of a chronological order, right? The older ones being in one, and then the newer ones being at the other end, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'll take one of the newer ones, like one of the newest ones at the top, and just kind of start flipping through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start from the other end.
Both of these journals that you take off seem to be, they're handwritten. They seem to just like be the average journal of a person living in Morgan City. But the newest one is very clearly written in like a ballpoint pen on like a typical lined notebook style like journal, mass produced kind of thing. Both of you get the realization as you're reading it. While Alex, yours is a bit harder to read because it's in weirder, sort of more flowery language. It's not English. It is English, but it's in like someone who is very much writing extra words for the space, like to fill in space kind of thing. Or at least that's what it feels like to you. So instead of being like, we went outside, it's like, it was a great day upon which we stepped on the threshold of, like that kind of thing. You're like, God, just get to the point.
Sure.
But the newer book is very much just straight to the point. And it's like, basically both of them talk about their dealings in Morgan City, but you both get the very quick understanding that whomever wrote these were members of some kind of secret order. And Dr. Dreyfus, you get the express words, the 5 orders, in your notebook, the newest one.
5 orders.
So, this
are
one
there
sounds...
any kind of diagrams or anything like that?
No, they just seem to be journals documenting various things. They do talk about ritualistic practices, doing certain things. It's like this is a journal to document, like, we tried this thing and this is what the outcome was. We tried this thing, only this time we did it on a full moon versus a new moon, and this is what the outcome was. Like, somebody's writing and documenting various things, but all of them are related to gaining and growing power and containing something beneath the ground. Just a reminder for both of you, the 5 orders was kind of what that old cult was called, the one that was overthrown about 7 years ago.
Okay. So this place belonged to the cult that was harnessing the power of the subterranean nightmare beast.
Mm-hmm. And based on that knowledge, now that you have that remembrance, that recollection that was the name of the group, Dr. Dreyfus, you realize that the book that you're holding is roughly 7 or 8 years old. That's the newest one.
And everything, there's like the layer of dust that makes it look like we are the first people in here in 7 years.
The staircase did not seem like it had that much dust on it, but the books do.
Right. I think we should. How do we get some of these books out?
Pictures? Take a minute, but we can start photographing, or we can just steal them. Who knows who comes down here?
It doesn't look like anybody. So.
Yeah.
But like 300 books, that's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a roll that might help you find like probably the most important book or books.
Yeah.
That would be outstanding. Would it be my sensing the unnatural?
Hey, we could do that. That would be great to pull that using your ability.
Okay.
I don't. Can I aid in some way? Just be like, you're sensing, and I'm going through manually, being like, okay, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one?
Let's have you make. Let's see. What could we do? I guess an investigation roll. Let's do a wits plus investigation roll, and if you get some successes, then I'll figure out what to add to the dice roll.
Cool. I'm just backing up here. Investigation. Not my best.
No.
I'm guessing this doesn't use my specialization either.
No, you're not sneaking or criminalizing in any way.
It's going to be a big 2 dice for 1 success.
Wait, 1 success. All right. So we'll go ahead and give an extra die to Dr. Dreyfus on his roll as you point out some things that you notice.
4 successes.
Nice. You find well, you're looking through and you kind of find the journal of a sailor named John Lingot. And the reason this stands out to you is because it's not the oldest one here, but it is one of the much older ones that has a fairly a fairly well described organizational structure. And it's clear to you that this person, in the brief reading, and thus the reason why you determine this is probably the best one to take, in the brief reading that you get is that this group, this 5 orders or whatever this was sort of mostly disorganized until John Lingot, who was a sailing captain, organized them together. So this is like the book contains like his idea for the structural outline of the organization and stuff, which then leads you to have like there's some diagrams in it and things like that. But not like they're not written out. There's like described what the diagram should look like rather than like an actual drawing of it, essentially. And so that strikes you as probably the most important book in here. And then potentially some others of other leaders or whatever along the way, but it might take longer to find those. But this one at least gets you a good start.
Yeah. Definitely put that one in his satchel. And he definitely strikes me as a satchel guy. And maybe let's look for 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
I am also very curious, kind of a little bit more about the founding of it, and like their initial mission, and then an idea of where they were at in the last couple of years.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't need I won't have you make another roll. You could just feel it out based on like you're sensing the unnatural from these books. There are some that seem to have more power and energy than others. The one that you've picked up already, that one is definitely one of the stronger ones from your feelings, from the symbols and signs you see in the books. And then you grab a couple more. One of them is not the one that you picked up, but relatively close to the one that you picked up. That appears to be, but just based on a couple of flips, whoever the leader was at the very end, the last leader, as it were. And so, yeah, you get like 3 of them or so that you get very strong feelings based on their writing style without really giving a deep dig into them, that these are
okay.
Stronger. And
I'm
more
guessing
natural.
Alex has a backpack.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it just seems fitting. If stuff doesn't fit in my satchel, I will give it to Alex to put in her backpack.
Cool.
And should probably go over this in greater detail with the rest of the team.
Do you get the sense that they, like, I don't know, did spells here?
It looks like they were trying different things. I would have to look closer to see if things were successful. At least most of the ones I glanced at, it said we tried this and this happened, and it didn't seem to look too fruitful.
All right. Yeah, let's dip out.
Yeah.
As you start to head toward the stairs, the lights flicker on, like they're very obviously some kind of electrical lamps that were installed where like oil lanterns used to be. That feel. They flicker on like they haven't been turned on for a while, and you hear a footstep on the top of the stairs coming down.
Hide.
I guess I will attempt to hide.
We'll come back to you as you all attempt to hide, and go back.
That will
go
not be a good dice roll.
Go over to our other two companions who have been busy putting silverware into drawers and plates into cabinets in Ophelia's apartment, which I don't believe we got a very strong look at the last time. So now we're going to step away from the seriousness and the tenseness to go find out about Ophelia's apartment and then the texting.
All right. To give kind of a lowdown of what Joseph sees, at least, it is obviously very much built for like one or two people. The space itself is fairly small. All of the walls though are either white or white with like a small maybe like trim of a different color. The furniture is simple but comfortable. You have a couch that can seat maybe like 4 people. It has like one of those like long attachments at the end. The kitchen is probably the most decorated out of all of the rooms. It has like the blue like paneling where the stove is, and has like a couple like potted plants and maybe a couple pictures. The bathroom itself again has like a potted plant in there. But all in all, like it's one bedroom and then like a couple of like rooms. One maybe like smaller space has been converted into like a workout room for herself, whereas it's just like a couple of like weights, maybe a treadmill and a punching bag. It's fairly simple, but it's comfortable and probably now slightly messy, which you can tell obviously bothers her. She's got that military clean look to the apartment. So.
All right, Joseph, that's what you see when you're in this apartment.
Yeah. As we're moving, so I'm doing my best to sort of putting it away like neatly, as you know, I can tell she cares, but I'm not doing a good job of it because I'm used to sort of living life on the road. It's kind of shitty. Keep throw shit wherever.
Joseph, pick that up.
Okay, where does it go?
Over there. Just like point like a space. So
once again, Joseph, you notice how unnaturally quiet this place is.
Is this place bugged? I know you said it's like just a normal apartment, but it's bad vibes.
To be fair, everything is a bad vibe with you.
This is you picked this place.
I'm just saying, it was fine for me.
The other guys are gonna agree with me. This is.
I mean, most definitely, but like you have to remember, I was one person living alone before I stumbled across you.
That makes it creepier to live here. I mean, like, I can hear my heart beating. That it should be that even when you're in a house alone, it's not this quiet. Something's wrong. Someone next door is getting murdered right now, I bet.
I mean, I could go check.
They probably. I don't think they'd answer the door. That's not my point. It's not enough. It's an empty house. It should be echoey.
I mean, I could always put on like here, and she's gonna go to like a radio and pop on whatever radio station she can find, open the door, and she's going to step out and see how if the music from her apartment echoes out to the hallway, and if it does, how far.
Popular radio stations in Morgan City.
Oh my god.
First one up. Well, we'll go with the FN band and not the like AM band. KQKI FM 95.3. Yep.
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 I throw on that.
Yeah, so the radio is playing I guess I don't know, K-Biz might be another one. Anyway, so it starts playing just random music. Whatever was on the radio. Like you didn't turn it to a specific station. It's not like your favorite music or anything, just music in general.
Mhm.
So it comes on, it's playing, and you can hear it, Joseph. You can hear it. It definitely feels like the walls are keeping it from penetrating to like the next apartment. You get that distinct feeling. And then Ophelia, when you step outside of your door, do you leave it open or closed?
I'm gonna leave it open.
Okay. You can hear the music, but certainly 4 feet away from your door or so, you cannot hear it. It just fades, like it's real quiet. There's not like a distinct line as to when it disappears. It just like it fades rapidly, even with your door open.
And that's when I kind of start like knocking on like the walls and stuff that are in the hallway to kind of see if like anything echoes outside of it. I guess this is the first time I've been more like aware of how quiet it actually is.
Let's see. Should you roll for this, perhaps?
I roll to knock.
Well, I mean, nah, it's fine. You knock on the door or knock on the wall, and it sounds like a normal wall knock, right? Like it's like how knocking on a wall should sound.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're not knocking on a stud or something, there's usually like a more hollow sound. You definitely don't get that feel. Instead, you get the feel like it's super thick, like drywall.
In the walls. Whatever it is, it's coming to get us.
I mean, all it really strikes you is that they used it like triple thick drywall or something to keep sound from traveling. But like, why? Right? Like this construction is obviously relatively new, and most of the time when they build these things, sure, there's like a double layer, and there's usually insulation. There's probably metal beams instead of wood beams because it's a newer construction. Because that's what they do nowadays. They don't put wood between them. But like, it would be really expensive to do that, and the cost of your apartment doesn't seem to reflect that kind of expense. Like if all of the apartments, if you had like an average priced apartment and there weren't any that were like super expensive, like there's no way they're making any money. Even if they were fully leased, and you know that they're not. You know that they're maybe half leased at best.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go back into the apartment and just kind of close the door. I'm going to look at Joseph for just like a minute. Yeah, okay. There's something really fucking weird going on with the walls, at least. I mean, no, like literally go outside and tap on the walls. You know how like sometimes it feels a little bit hollow whenever you're like in like a hallway and you kind of hear that like that hollowness when you knock on like a wall. Yeah, I don't.
And he
hear
goes
that.
to knock on a wall to demonstrate the sound, and it doesn't sound hollow.
Yeah, the exact same thing happens inside the apartment, where you can definitely feel like it's like extra thick drywall for some reason.
Can I look for like bugs or like hidden cameras or something?
You certainly can, my friend. You are an expert at this sort of technological stuff.
Can I crush the bugs in the cameras if he finds any?
Just want to throw in real quick that after we looked up the radio station, I turned it on, so I'm currently listening to Sitting on the Dock by the Bay.
There you go.
Banger.
That's
Oh,
what's playing on the
nice.
radio. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, what sort of role are we looking at to find any hidden surveillance
Well,
devices?
this would be a technology thing, probably, right?
Like a wits plus tech?
Wits plus technology sounds about right.
Yeah, and do I get my surveillance specialty?
Yeah, you have a surveillance specialty, right? What is
I
that?
do.
That's the I don't know.
That's my tech specialty is surveillance.
Yeah, exactly. So then you'd add that too.
Excellent. Don't think I wouldn't get my desperation here, but it's still a pool of 8 dice.
Right, because you're not making anything on the hunt, right?
Yeah. Oh, 6 successes.
Oh yeah.
I almost want to. I don't real failures, but I know that's a waste.
So don't do it. So you find the apartment is not. There are no flags. For the most part. And by that I mean like in the walls and stuff. You're not getting any registers. You get some. Pings from your. I'm assuming you're using some kind of device to look for bugs. You can't just like tap the wall and find a bug. Right?
Yeah, that might be. I have a little like magnetic thing.
Yeah.
That looks for. Yeah.
Just a little like power spike, sensor or something like that. Yeah. And so you're doing the thing that you would do, maybe using your camera, because I hear that sometimes works for like video cameras to see them with the infrared lights and whatever all. You're doing a little scan. You find nothing in the walls or in any of the appliances or the light fixtures where you might find those things because they need power. But the carbon monoxide sensor in the apartment does flag a little strange, as in it is pulling like there's something weird about it. And when you take it down, there's an extra power cable that seems to lead somewhere into the wall, like up into the ceiling. Because sometimes, so this is like when you take it down, right? There's like a bracket there, and there's like wires for it to plug in. Yeah. It's clearly connected to the fire suppression system and the fire control system for the building. And there's usually like 2 or 3 wires that plug into the back of the device, but there's an extra black one that's weaved in there as well.
Ophelia, how much do you need your deposit back?
I had a feeling when I told you guys you could move in with me, I wasn't getting it back anyway. So
it's
you know what?
bugged.
Go fucking crazy then. You fucking psychopath.
Take down the carbon monoxide sensor, and if there's nothing, well, I guess first take apart the carbon monoxide sensor, see what's in there, and if that's fruitless, I'll try and rip out the whole fixture and see if I can't try and figure out where this wire goes.
So the power box that it goes into, the control junction box that's in the ceiling, when you go to pull the carbon monoxide sensor down, those 3 wires that I mentioned before, those come out fine. There's just a little clip. That black wire, that's an extra wire, it actually runs into the device itself. So you won't be able to fully remove it without cutting that wire. I assume that you probably, I don't know if you want to or don't want to. Yeah, I was going to say, I assume you want to cut it. So you clip the wire.
Probably puts an alarm off, right?
Maybe. You cut the wire. No alarm goes off in the building.
That's good.
But there's a small chirp from the device indicating that it has lost power. And that's all that happens for now. But then you wanted to take it apart. So you take it apart. You do your thing, removing a couple of little screws, right? Take the back piece off. You have all of the circuitry, the little board and circuitry. You've got the little alert sensor that'll say it's bit warning, carbon monoxide. And the little battery that's still there that will run in case there's a power outage, that kind of thing. But you also find a microphone in it.
Huh. Weird. Yeah. It looks strange, but I guess there's nothing in here. I'll have to I'll put it back. I'm sorry I messed everything up. If they come asking for the deposit, I'll fix it. As I
Joseph, you and I both know you're not going to fix it. You're too poor to fix it.
Well, listen, you can buy the stuff. I'll do the repair work, so we don't have to buy a whole new one. You don't have to hire a handyman or even tell the apartment that I broke your carbon monoxide. As I'm using my improvised gear to function a little Faraday cage and a little bag to stick the thing into, trying to feed it false info. I don't know what's going on.
You got to make a roll for that, don't you?
Yes. Let me see what that roll is. I'm sure I'm good at it. We're looking at intelligence plus craft or technology.
All right, which one do you want to do, craft or technology?
Technology is better. I don't think I get my specialty on this.
No, you would not.
And that would be 7. Oh, that'd be 8 dice. Jesus. Oh, that would have gotten desperation, but I don't want to risk increasing the danger. Well, do I get to make that choice?
You don't. Go ahead
field.
and make your add the desperation dice.
Yeah. 8 dice and no, not
you don't get
description.
decision making.
And it's equal to dangerous. It's 2.
It's actually 3 dice
3
right
now. Yeah.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Ooh,
There you go.
That's
Ooh.
rough.
That's real rough.
You're welcome.
What was the roll?
It is a desperate success with 4 successes.
Are you going to overreach or fail?
Oof.
Here's I feel like overreaching and increasing the danger here defeats the purpose of what I'm going for, right?
Mm-hmm. But it'll put you into despair.
But it will put me into despair, which is pretty rough.
Your drive is
Pride, besting pride, besting the. Here's what it is. I figured they might notice it's disconnected, but they won't have us bugged, so it's probably worth to succeed here, despite increasing the danger to being quite a lot.
You're all over here increasing the danger. Okay. I will increase the danger, and you will succeed at building your Faraday cage.
It's about to get real. And the party is split.
Yeah, neither of us are in a secure location, really.
Let me see. I believe I did. Okay, so I was trying to remember. You are at the end of your hall is the laundry chute, is that correct? Or was the garbage chute? I think it was the laundry chute.
It was the laundry chute.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure. I didn't know how far you have to go if you want to try to dispose of this thing. Just a note, because there are things to note about this building. Okay, you managed to build the Faraday cage based on your improvised gear, and you place it inside. If it is still working and broadcasting, it is not doing so now. The signal is bouncing around inside your Faraday cage, based on your knowledge of Faraday cages and how this would work.
Mm-hmm.
So now what?
Well, they were listening before. I don't know what sort of apparatuses they have, If they're not hearing anything, they might just assume we went away for a few days, so.
It's like some weird Big Brother shit.
Yeah, you're telling me. Thank God for you. I thought about it.
I feel bad for ever had to listen in on my conversations in this apartment, though. Jesus.
I mean, it's mostly just the sounds of doing coke, right?
Sure.
Is that the name of the person that came by last week? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Wouldn't you like to know?
But about this time, right after you finish this, is when you get the text entering second layer, etc., and that conversation that happened.
Yeah. Well,
Which obviously would have gone a little differently had you just taken care of a bug. But we went to
we
that
would have been more
first.
I don't
careful,
know,
but I guess the
maybe-
bug had been dealt with.
yeah, we would have gone back to moving furniture by then. And when we say we, I mean Ophelia, with Joseph
Yeah.
probably watching.
Yeah, he's on his computer,
Yeah.
doing research.
Yeah, that YouTube video sounds like a lot of research, Joseph.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
it's about werewolves.
if you want to leave and go try to find them at the university, you can do that. If you wanted to do something else, like if you wanted to try to see if you could bring up some kind of technological thing to find out where this signal goes from the microphone, like where that wire leads back to, you could try that. So it's up to you on
That
what you
is-
want to do.
Exactly what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Because watching Big Brother, I think it calls out surveillance footage in the thing, but it feels like it might work for audio stuff.
Mm-hmm. I believe it does.
technically
Let's
surveillance.
double check your special ability here. The global access, and then it's Big Brother, right? What is it?
Mhm.
Watching Big Brother. The hunter is able to not only gain access to, but also manipulate digital surveillance footage, editing people out, or adding them to records. I consider so I know it's specifically talking about like digital surveillance footage. It doesn't.
Mhm.
It sort of implies then that it's video footage, right? But at the same time, like digital surveillance also is audio. So I would say that applies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while I'm getting up in their system, is there some way? I mean, we'll have to handle this in phases, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like all access pass to also, turn off whatever, error messages they're getting. Like, hey, something got disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the difficulty
Press.
would be between 3 and 5. Yeah, I can set that. Why don't you make the intelligence plus technology roll? Actually, I'll set it now. Why not? So that way we can know what you're trying to get on your roll.
Mhm.
I'm going to set it at 4.
And is this roll with my specialty?
Yeah, because you have a specialty in surveillance.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's
Give
9
you-
dice.
I give you an encouraging pat on the shoulder because I don't fucking know what you're doing. So good
Well, I
on
oughta
you,
do it.
kid.
7 successes.
7 successes. No overreaching or anything?
Nope. Because I don't. This is.
Oh, yeah, you're not really crafting
augmenting
something.
or
Yeah.
repairing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 7 successes. Jesus Creasies, I said 4, so yes, you managed to get into their system. You go in, you realize that it is flagging a lack of signal, right? A no signal broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
But because of your little clip-on thing that you did to access this to go backtrack it, you're able to turn that off and make it at least as far as that alarm is concerned, it's reconnected and working fine. Based on the last things that you said, right? If somebody were to go investigate that, they would get that audio clip of you being like, "Oh, it's fine. I'll put it back," and then like this error code and that kind of thing, and then
Mm-hmm.
back online.
So
and
it
so they would
looks
just
like I
it would
just
it'll
repaired it.
appear that you did put it back essentially,
Mm-hmm.
as far as they're concerned, as far as whatever system they're using to track this is concerned.
Yeah, maybe I use some of my AV experience to record the sounds of the room emptily, just have that playing on a loop or something.
Yeah, just typical white noise, empty room sound. Even if you don't
Mhm.
record the room as it were, you can just pull that up from the internet and just have what sounds like
Yeah.
an empty room sound, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can I get any idea where this feed's going to?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you can. It goes all the way back to some control computer that appears to be somewhere in the building. But you could probably use a device or something to find its location. What you would do essentially is have it do a little a signal ping. I don't know if you've ever seen a telecommunications person working on a line, but they essentially plug something into one end and then they walk around with their device and they just touch the wires and when it reaches the wire that the signal's coming through, their thing will make a noise. So you could do something like that to figure out which wire it is in the wall, and then follow it essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That feels like a side quest we should get on at some point.
Mm-hmm. I've actually seen telecommunications guys doing that, so I absolutely know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that feels like a real life magic spell. That feels like a thing that a wizard would do.
Yeah. They just essentially, like, the end cap piece that's on the wire is just sending feedback down the line, and then their sensor will pick it up when they're within proximity of the wire, essentially. Yep.
Sweet. So whoever's watching
technology.
Whoever was listening in is somewhere in the building, but they're not listening in anymore.
Would it be worth it to go and check out and see, like, if we can maybe find this person or this room, or?
Yeah, we can figure it out. I mean, obviously we don't know how well guarded it is, but well, they're in their secret lair. We should make this into our secret lair, I guess. The secret part being sort of the operative word.
So, we're gonna put the Breaking Bad room right in the living room, is what you're telling me, or are we moving that somewhere else?
Bathroom?
Don't turn my bathroom into a meth lab.
Listen, we need sinks. So your choice is bathroom or kitchen. It's not, hey, and we're not cooking meth.
You're cooking milk.
Yeah, money's not that tight yet, so we're good. It's not a drug lab. Yeah, it's a lab about drugs, but it's not a drug lab.
Yet.
Yet. Yet was the word that you snuck in there.
Well, how are you supposed to keep up your coke habit?
I have money, Joseph.
Forever?
I mean, with my pension and all of my investments, hopefully, yes.
Just looking out.
That's the last time I give you drugs.
Let's go find the server room or whatever the hell.
Yeah, let's. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we can. I don't know. Like, rip out some circuit breakers. I don't know what you nerds do. So,
I'm gonna do what you said telecom people do, Scott.
Yeah. It is relatively easy to do with the right kinds of equipment, which you happen to have, being Joseph, the guy who spies on people.
Oh my god.
Who said no? He spies on himself in the woods. Okay?
Yeah, it's fair. He's actually recording himself for his YouTube channel. He's got to be good at this kind of thing.
Yeah.
When you're your own, audio video team. Yeah.
I used to have a whole set and team, but then I had to replace them all. So.
Yeah. So the line, as you would guess, this fire line would because it follows the fire suppression system, right? So you can guess that it probably goes to wherever the central point on the floor would be for the knock unit, which is what they call that in the fire suppression system. So that's probably in an electrical room somewhere in the hall, more likely a telecommunications room, which also is in the hall, or they're the same room. Some places, like a particular building that I may or may not work at, those are the same room. And so leaving the apartment, you search around for a little bit, and you find at the junction point at the end of this hall where there was her hall, and then it curved right, and then it went back to where the main hall was. Right at that point where there's essentially a T junction, that's where the electrical / telecommunications room is for this particular portion of the building. It's a locked door, obviously, because they don't just leave those kinds of things unlocked all the time. But
is it?
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, is it the sort of door maintenance rooms sometimes have a little window on them?
It doesn't have a window on it. Newer technology, it's going to be a fire door, so it's going to be a thick door, because that's what they build in buildings nowadays. But it will have just a lock on it, probably similar style of key to the key for the apartments. The key, I believe it was a key card in this case for your apartment.
Oh, then I got it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be a key card for this one as well.
Well, but before we go kicking indoors, Ophelia,
What?
do you see a lot of handymen around?
Correct. You have never once actually seen the maintenance/handyman team.
Okay,
Should I bring a weapon?
carry gun. When I unlock, don't shoot. Unconscious.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out my brass knuckles and make sure that my sidearm is right there.
Mm-hmm.
I cast my little spell on the card reader.
You do your technology thing.
Yeah. I'll access pass.
Okay. Yeah, because you're still tapped in the system, right? Because you managed to get something with your all access pass. You do a little thing with a like a really it's just like a credit card style like RFID card that you've got attached to like some wires that plug into a box or something. That's kind of what you would be using to simulate a fake access badge for this place. Easy enough to like duplicate the codes because you have Ophelia's to use to like set the code standard. There's like a facility code usually, and you've tapped in. Moral of the story is you got it. So you hit it on the door, and it unlocks.
I get out of the way, but then open the door so that Ophelia can lead the charge if violence is necessary.
I guess I'll lead the charge.
As the door opens, you find just a small closet room. On the wall are a lot of these like server devices that are blinking lights. You see a lot of these blue like Cat6 cables coming through the wall. And then you see the fire suppression system. Now it's usually got like a big metal conduit that the wires will go into. And then there's a metal box with some grates on it that says it'll actually say right on it, and this one does, like knock system. But to the side of that, there is a metal black, what appears to be some kind of router, but it's like a solid heavy metal unit that is attached to the wall. And you can see a series of these small black cables, much like the one that you're plugged into, going into that. And then a single...
Is it like a server?
Yeah, it's a gateway junction box. And then there's one Cat6 cable that goes out of that. It is green. It doesn't look like the blue ones that are everywhere else.
Right. We are going to close and relock the door.
Mm-hmm.
I am assuming it'd be reasonable. It wouldn't really matter because we can argue again, but I brought my laptop or my iPad or whatever I work off of.
Yep.
And I want to see where this guy goes.
So that line, right, your little device, pings like it should. Like it gives you the feedback sound, which is kind of probably a little beep, but also a granular static sound. And that is definitely where your line goes. And then it continues there, so you can continue to follow the signal. It goes up to the next floor above. Which is Ophelia's on the 4th floor, if I remember correctly. It goes up to the 5th and final floor.
Okay. Well, first, use my little trigger. Do I find any bugs in this room?
There are no bugs in this room as far as you can tell, as far as your sensors are indicating.
This goes somewhere else upstairs. I guess we should deal with that. I don't want to just disconnect all of these. It's too unsettled. They'll notice.
Mm-hmm.
So we follow this to wherever it goes. See if we can't launch some other. I don't know what your neighbors are like, but they probably shouldn't be getting spied on either. We'll see though. I don't want to put us at risk, at least while we're still in town working. But this goes upstairs somewhere we should check out first.
Sure.
Do you know any of your upstairs neighbors?
I know one of the guys who uses the gym on the 1st floor. That's about it. Yeah, there are a lot of people who use the gym here. One of them's like a next door neighbor, one of them lives upstairs, and then one of them lives on like the 2nd floor. So
Buff community.
we, There's nothing much more to do here except go to the gym and like sleep. So
Eat shrimp.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole festival about it.
Petroleum shrimp.
Petroleum. Yeah.
Yeah, you dip the shrimp in the petroleum and really go for it. I think our next steps then are to go upstairs.
The elevator 1 is not very far from you. It is down the short hallway. It's the one I believe you used to come up. Maybe you didn't. I don't remember. But it is just straight ahead of you. There are 4 elevators. At the 4 ends of the halls. But yeah, you can go to that one. That is the closest one. That would get you up to the 5th floor for sure.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm a little worried by how well you describe the elevators here, but I'm sure no harm will come of us getting in this elevator.
Ophelia, when you get in the elevator, you run your badge.
Oh my god.
You run your badge, and you try to hit the 5th floor, and it won't let you. There's also in this elevator, there's also a basement button, which you've not noticed before because you usually use one of the other 3 elevators. None of those have a basement button. You can if you try any of the other floors, I'll tell you what happens. But when you try to hit the 5th floor, it doesn't let you. Joseph, do you want to use your badge?
Yeah.
Okay. Ophelia, what were you gonna say before we let Joseph use his badge?
Before we go up to the 5th floor, I've never been down to the basement before.
Basements are bad news. Do you want to check it out?
Kind of.
Yeah, bad news is our bag, isn't it?
Yeah, we kind of got wrapped in with each other. I feel like bad news is just our group's thing.
Let me. I get my time. I walk my drone from the apartment to the elevator.
So this canine drone comes around the corner, and this is the canine drone because your flying one broke, right? Yeah. This canine drone, it comes around the corner, and it's this this 4-legged walking machine coming towards you.
With a gun sticking out.
With a gun sticking out of it.
Pay no attention to the armed dog. I make space for him so he can fit in the elevator between the two of us, like facing out.
Are you going up or down?
5th floor or basement, Ophelia? We're not supposed to be in either.
Let's start with the 5th, and then we'll go down to the basement.
Bet.
Okay.
5th floor it is.
Run your badge, and you hit the 5th floor, and it accepts it. And so the door closes. Ding. And when you go up to the 5th floor, it opens up, and it says 5th floor. As it does on every floor. It's a standard hallway, just like before. It's very quiet. There are apartments. There's only one apartment in this little stretch of hallway between like the elevator and that junction point. Mm-hmm. Using your device, you continue to follow the sound. It leads you to that hall, like that junction point where halls 2 and 3 break off from the main hall. I'm using the map because I, forgot the layout of this place. It's been like a month since I shared it with you. Following it around, it goes all the way to the hall 1, and then there you discover that on the 5th floor, there's only 2 apartments in the stretch of hall 1 between the turn and the laundry chute. This is not like Ophelia's floor where there are 4 apartments on either side, 8 total in the hallway. There's only 2. And the cable, the signal that you have, basically gets lost somewhere in the wall that would lead to the apartment on the right side.
Oh, shit. It's somebody's apartment. What do you want to do?
Do we, go and rough some people up? I'm kind of one-trick pony, Joseph.
But, what if it isn't just some creep? I mean, we can handle it, right?
Totally.
We're grown-ups. Yeah. Yeah, what are they gonna do?
Do you have a weapon, Joseph?
Look at him.
The
Oh,
drone
true,
has a
true.
gun attached. Yeah.
Oh
The
my
gun-
fucking
the
god.
drone flags you.
Like, yeah, the drone has a semi-automatic handgun attached to it.
Yeah.
Got it. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna walk up to the apartment on the right. I'm gonna have Joseph on the side with the reader. Let's call him Fido, pointing inside at the door behind us. Ophelia on the other side, ready to do a proper breach.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna open up the door.
Okay. Because you have an all-access badge, when you run it, the door lock beeps and clicks like it should.
It's
Now-
such a bad idea.
Mhm. You open the door, and you find a very large apartment on the inside. It is very well kept, very incredibly well kept, and the lights are off, but there's a dim light that comes in from, somewhere, probably just the way that the ambient light sort of keeps the room, at least. So when you walk in for the first time, it's not just like deathly dark. There's a light switch right next to you. You could turn on the lights if you want, but it's dark inside. As you get the quick look around, there doesn't seem to be any threats or dangers that immediately stand out. But Ophelia, you're the first one looking in, right?
Yep.
Something about it all feels strange, and then you realize as you're looking at it all seems to just be various pieces of furniture from the same Crate and Barrel catalog, right? Like it's staged to look like an apartment. Like the model apartment you saw when you first looked
Yeah.
at this place.
It's a little too home and garden for me. Something's off about this. And I'm gonna go to one of the pieces of furniture and just kind of lightly kick it.
Yeah, it's a table. You absolutely kick like a table. It is clearly a table. It's not a fake table, but as you are now inside the apartment, you can see a faint glow from since it's a very large apartment, there are two very large rooms to the side. Like there are two master bedrooms in this place, sort of feel. This feels like a penthouse unit, right? It's just so wide and open. It makes your apartment look tiny. You could fit two of your apartments inside just the living room of this apartment. And in one of those bedrooms, you can see the faint glow of a computer monitor.
Joseph.
Yeah. What do you see? He's hiding outside.
Oh my god, get in here, you little.
Okay.
On the table you kicked are a couple of magazines as well. Forgot to mention that.
First you hear the of the robot legs. The
Get
server
the
is
fucking
moving.
dog out.
And he looks around, and then Joseph will come behind it. Oh, okay. Computer. It can't kill us, right? Right? No, we're good.
No, sure.
Is there a computer or like an office chair?
So going into the room, you find a desk, an office chair, lots of food containers stacked around a very obviously bought at Office Max kind of garbage can. No bag inside, just these styrofoam food boxes, and plastic utensils.
Nice.
There is a chair at the desk. There's actually 3 monitors on the desk, but only one is turned on currently.
Do the food boxes look like there has been food in them actually?
Yep.
Or conversely, has the food been eaten out of
Yep.
them?
Food has been eaten out of them for sure.
Right. Okay, Ophelia, I'm gonna see what I can do here. Sweep the apartment.
Sure. I'm gonna take out my gun, and I'm gonna start to kind of go into every room, poke around.
You have a flashlight or something, or do you have just you turn on any lights or anything? I'm
My
just
phone.
curious.
I have like a phone.
Yep.
That has a flashlight on it.
Which room do you go to first? Well, I guess you have the living room, and then you have like the other bedroom.
I'll go into the other bedroom.
Going into the other bedroom, there is once again a very immaculate, well-made bed, almost like a maid has made it or something. Like the corners are tucked, right, and like everything looks perfect. But there are signs that somebody sleeps here. There's the carpet doesn't look like it's never been touched or anything. Like it definitely feels like someone sleeps here. And when you open the closet, you find a series of suits, very nice suits. I want you to make a roll. I'm just trying to figure out what it would be. What would the roll be for remembering something?
Maybe like resolve an insight or something like that.
Or maybe like a willpower or something, like composure, resolve. Resolve insight sort of makes sense to me.
Yeah, insight's
Or
probably a good one.
Intelligence and insight.
Maybe intelligence or wits, whichever one is better for you. Plus insight, I think, maybe. Well,
Okay.
no, you know what I want to do? I want to do composure and intelligence. That's what I want to do.
Okay. Slightly better. I'm gonna re-roll some of those failures.
'Kay.
Ugh.
Take your superficial willpower damage to do so.
All right, 2.
2 successes. You don't remember where, but you feel like you've seen a couple of these suits before. On a person. You're just not remembering the person or where, but you definitely feel like the style of suit that, like, it's not like a common suit, right? Some of them are pretty common suits, but like one of them is kind of slightly different. You're like, I
Now,
vaguely remember
question.
somebody wearing that.
Is it a men's suit or a women's suit?
All men's suits.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna keep going. Any other rooms that I can find? Bathroom.
There's a
kitchen?
bathroom. In the bathroom, there is the typical men's grooming stuff. There's like a razor and like a hairbrush and a beard brush kind of thing. There's some shaving cream, a toothbrush, that kind of stuff. But it's all very clean. Very clean. It's like a little body wash in the shower. But
Mhm.
like it's like just like one like body wash, one regular like suave shampoo kind of thing. Like definitely a man's apartment feel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So it's a 14-in-1 body wash, shampoo, conditioner. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
Axle
what I'm saying.
grease.
Yeah. Yeah.
Axle grease. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got some masculine man name of its like scent, right?
Yep. Yep.
Tactical condition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Death soap or something like that. Something that's like there's no reason it should be named that.
But yet
Yeah.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything in like a linen closet that might be in the bathroom?
Just some nicely folded towels.
Okay. Yeah. If it looks like this is like just.
Do
looking
you
like
open the dresser drawers at all?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'll like
Mhm.
go and I'm a bit snoopy, so
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're an ex-cop. It makes sense.
She's being way more careful, really, than you'd
Boom.
expect.
Yeah. So anyway, you open
I
the
haven't shot
under
my gun yet, so.
the underwear drawer has neatly folded pairs of underwear, and socks, and then the second drawer has neatly folded like undershirts for wearing under the dress shirts, and also dress shirts. And then the final drawer has a series of identification cards for various people.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna take the cards,
Mm-hmm.
all of them.
Okay. There's like 100 of them.
Jesus
And they're not the pictures are not of the same person. They're not like 100 different identities. These are 100 different people.
What the hell?
I'm gonna take, like I said, I'm gonna take as many as I can in my hands, and I'm gonna kind of sneak back into where Joseph is.
All right. Joseph, before we get to Ophelia coming in with a handful of identification cards and driver's licenses and things, Joseph, you were going to be messing around with the computer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what exactly are you doing as you mess around with the computer?
First, I want to try and get access to whatever's on the hard drive, ideally without bypassing any securities and without arousing any suspicion.
All right. Roll some intelligence plus technology for me.
Absolutely.
Don't get the specialization from surveillance, because this is actually getting into the system, probably through some other like Unix kernel or something, so that you're not leaving traces.
Mm-hmm. I don't think my creed fields apply to this either.
No, I'll say no on this one.
And then just to really sell it, let's call it 8 successes.
8 successes. Whoo! All right, so you bypass any security that this, like any encryption software or whatever this system had. The other screens you realize are on. They're displaying something, so if you turn them on, you'll see what they're displaying. But otherwise, you get access to everything on the hard drive. And what you find is a whole lot of audio footage or audio recordings of various apartments and video footage all over the complex.
I would like to see what's on the other monitors.
The other monitors contain the security camera footage of the apartment building. And also like a cloud-based door access controlled system, which has both the ability to manipulate the access badge, basically the access badge levels, the the profiles and stuff for people's access cards, but also has a record of every event, which is what the system calls whenever a badge is used. And it's weird because normally those would only have the access badge information for like the main doors and the elevators, but it also has everyone's individual apartment doors.
Yeah. So I want to first and foremost wipe every use of my all access pass from the local records as well as the ones that he's backed up to the cloud.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. Yours is easy to see. It doesn't have an actual badge code. It has only a facility code. So you can see the times you've run yours. So it was really easy to be like, okay, we used it in elevator 1. Boom, there's a just facility code access badge and not like a following number that would usually be there. So you're like, okay, this is me.
Then I want to... does this person is probably paranoid and probably has backups of all of his backups on 1,000 different cloud services. Is this what I gather looking at everything?
Definitely using, well, the software itself is a third-party software. He didn't create it himself. It's some other management company. They certainly have probably backups upon backups on their servers as their whole entire purpose. Their company exists to provide this access and these cloud servers.
Is he using it like a normal user, right? Is this like a
He's
regular guy
using
with a
it
Backblaze account?
Yeah, he's using essentially for that particular thing, he's using his regular admin access level. And I assume that you're going to find out whom is this account for.
Yes.
Because obviously you're in the account, so you just go count information, right? And it'll tell you who it belongs to. It belongs to John Etienne, which is listed as full admin access for this particular
Have we heard
software.
that name? I feel like I've heard that name.
That name sounds familiar.
Okay. So, and looking at the PC, does it appear to have a wire running to it that was like the green Cat 6 cable?
Yes, indeed. It goes to a network switch that is right there, like in the stack with like the PC, right? The PC tower. There's the network switch right next to it. It has that green cable plugged into it. And then, well, it actually goes to a box first and then into the switch, which then the desktop computer is also plugged into. And then there's a couple of other extra ones, like probably for a laptop that isn't here right at the moment. Things like that.
Okay. I would like to wipe all of the local records of keycard readings as well as all of the audio and video footage.
Mm-hmm.
Then I am going to dutifully unplug every cable from the PC, and I'm taking it with me.
Okay, so you're going to wipe the data and then take the PC with you?
Yeah, so I'm not wiping the whole hard drive, just the local comings and goings, the local video footage. If I can, I would like to do that from his cloud stuff as well.
So
and
let me just try to understand if I'm getting it correctly. You want to delete the data and then take the device.
Yeah, I want to delete the spy data just because even if we get caught, then he won't have his creep collection anymore.
Okay. Are you deleting it from? You want to delete it from the machine that you're taking as well, or do you want to analyze it in any way?
Well, I guess that's the question because I want us to be able to look at this stuff.
Right. That's what I thought you were trying to say. So you're trying to delete it from any way that he could access
I'll
it.
remove it from. Yeah.
But
so
also
I'll leave
still
everything intact locally then.
Yeah.
So and then just wipe it off the cloud.
Off the cloud. Yeah. That makes sense. So you're gonna remove all the files from the cloud and all of the recent backups, essentially all of the backups, if you could. Right. That's what you're trying to do. So that way, even if he logs into his cloud, there's nothing there. That's what you're trying to do. Got it. But still keep the data that you can access, so you can use it for whatever you need it for.
Okay, Ophelia, he's gonna know we're in here. We need to go. We can come back for the basement. Maybe tomorrow. I think we need to put this computer not in this apartment though. So
Dude, look what I fucking found though.
What'd you find?
And she's gonna.
Holy shit.
There's more in the fucking bedroom. I gotta go.
Get them all. We need to leave.
Yeah. All right. Fuck. And then I'm just gonna. Yep. I'm just gonna shove as many IDs in my pockets as I can, and I've got the cargo pants on.
Yeah, you could get a lot of IDs. Yeah.
Yeah.
and knowing what I know about this whole system, this works. Should I assume that continuing to use my all access pass is going to like put it somewhere that if he later connects to that Cat6 cable, he'll still get it? Or since it's not currently connected to this, will it go nowhere and be deleted?
You've deleted all of the data, but as it's used, it will restore like the record, right? Not that it won't restore like all of the records. It'll continue a new record essentially.
Yeah.
You could.
Is there a fire escape?
There isn't, weirdly enough.
This place isn't very building code friendly, is it?
Well, the assumption would be that you would go out into the hallway and take one of the stairwells, potentially, if you knew where they were. But you haven't really explored the building very well, so you're not sure where the stairwells are.
Whatever. It's one swipe of my all access pass. He'll know
you could. There is a thought, and Joseph might be paranoid enough to think of this. You could, because you currently have access to make profiles, you could make a dummy profile and make it look like it's some person's account.
Like someone copied his card, maybe.
Maybe it's his card or some other like apartment user's account, so it doesn't look like a special card. It just looks like an average person's card.
Yeah.
I kind of want to take one of this guy's suits.
Take a suit. Fuck it. Just don't put it on. Yeah, I'm gonna give access to some random resident's card, make a copy of that card and swipe that to go down.
Yep. So now it's gonna look like you're just resident,
Yeah.
Bill Smith or something.
And hope it's an old lady so it's clear she's not the one that did it, right?
Yeah, okay. That's fine. You choose some random old lady sounding name. Something like Edith, right?
Watching
exactly.
You, Gertrude.
Yeah, Gertrude.
Yeah. And you find that account and you just essentially add your badge to her profile so that it looks like her profile using the badge. And then you're essentially spoofing it, hiding your signature.
Yeah.
Yep.
then we go straight to the van. No, no. Is there a way to get to Ophelia's apartment that I didn't see on the security camera angles?
So interestingly, not all the hallways didn't really have security camera footage, it seemed. Most of the security camera footage was things like the parking garage, the front doors, the elevators, things like that, but none of the hallways. So the elevators do have security cameras on them. There's definitely going to be at least one stairwell in this building. There's probably 4, one at every cardinal place.
Let's look for some stairs.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be on camera holding this computer.
Yeah, and I don't want to be on camera holding this suit. It's tacky.
Why do you want it? Whatever.
It's the principle, okay?
Well, we're gonna find some stairs, and then the plan. We're actually gonna go back to Ophelia's apartment because we are moving. We're gonna put it in a box. It's a box. Who knows what's in a box? I don't know what's in a box. He knows. Yeah, it's the stairs.
So, did you find out who this person was, by the way?
Yeah, you haven't actually told Ophelia whose name was on the account.
Oh, I in my excitement to escape, and the adrenaline in my body, since I'm pretty sure we've encountered it, I'm gonna look in our notes and see if how the fuck did I forget it in 30 seconds?
John
Etienne was the name.
John Etienne.
Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah, it's the community manager of the property.
Oh.
So it's just a creep. Oh.
No. Community manager of this place.
Yeah, stinky.
I stole his suit.
Now that you have that information, you recognize where you saw the suit from. He was wearing it on the day that you came to see the building.
Yup. Oops.
Insane.
That guy gives me the creeps.
Yeah,
and that's saying something because I know a couple of really creepy people.
I mean, we're monster hunters, right? So this guy's like a super creep.
This guy's listening in on people, and that's
I preferred Patty.
Who's Patty? Oh yeah, that woman.
Patty
yeah,
Lancaster. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to show how relevant she is, honestly, in the grand scheme of things.
So, do we find a staircase?
So yes, we'll move through the narrative a little bit and then take a small break. You find the staircase fairly easily. It's down in the hall, kind of halfway between where the center is. There's 2 on either side. It seems like there are 4 staircases that are all built around the center point for some reason. So they go down the center of the building instead of on the sides. It's a very strange design, very weird design of a building. And you find the staircase and you're going to Ophelia's floor, 1 floor below.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You get back to her apartment. And when you're getting back to her apartment, you do hear somebody getting off an elevator, but they don't see you. You hear the elevator door open. They don't see you. You don't see them. And you get into Ophelia's apartment.
Mm-hmm. Quickly put it in some box that we've emptied, and we blast out.
Welcome back. We've come back from a small break. We return to find our hunters having stolen a hard drive or a whole computer, actually, from a penthouse unit on the 5th floor of Ophelia's building, the Purity Meadows apartment, the eyesore that stands in the center of downtown Morgan City. Whoa.
Can you stop dying?
My bad.
Cameron's over there experiencing some allergic reaction to whatever's in this building, causing trouble.
It's you. You're causing trouble.
But we left them leaving the building with the computer in a box. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So they left with the computer in a box to cover it up after wiping all of the creep files from the cloud servers that were accessed by John Etienne, the community manager of the Purity Meadows apartment building. And so they leave, and I assume to go to the university where Alex and Dr. Martin Dreyfus are hiding as best as they can in the what appears to be the Five Orders record chamber or sanctum underneath the administrative building of the Southern Louisiana State College in Morgan City. A fictional university, by the way, just for everyone at home, so they know I didn't use an actual university to defame their character in any way. Just saying. The person continues down the staircase toward the two of you, Dr. Martin and Alex. I believe you were trying to hide. I'm not going to make you roll because I assume that Alex is halfway decent at hiding, as it is what Alex does fairly well. Dr. Dreyfus, on the other hand, do you want to try to make a roll to see if you can stealth, or do you just want to be like, to narratively describe how badly Dr. Dreyfus is hiding?
I guess. Is it something like, can I hide behind the stacks of books?
You can certainly try.
I will try.
Okay. I mean, it's
that?
not a very big room. So
What am I rolling?
you're going to be rolling probably Dex plus Stealth.
And I'd like to hide closer to the stairs.
Yeah. It's not a very big room, so you're essentially what you're trying to do is stay out of immediate view of whoever's coming down and then give yourself some options when they get to the bottom of the stairs, right?
Wow. I only rolled 2 dice because I have no stealth, but I got 2 successes.
Okay. That's a pretty decent job of hiding. Pretty decent job of hiding at this point from whomever is coming down the stairs. Alex, you are well hidden behind the staircase
Cool.
at
I
the
also
bottom.
go into my bag and I pull something out.
Okay. We'll find out what you pulled out in a moment. The person comes down the stairs. They're very much coming down in a not hurried, but not super casual way, like a slightly slower than what you'd expect walk down the staircase. They clearly knew how to turn the lights on as they came down, and this person comes down, and you're greeted by a very tall, slender person wearing a very nice suit. He has a pin on his lapel that indicates that he is the dean of students. He comes in and just starts to look around. Both of you doing a pretty good job of hiding. So he will take one step off the staircase, or one step away from the staircase, leaving just a small space between the staircase and him. And he looks around the relatively small, larger, it's a medium-sized room, essentially. It's like a smaller medium-sized room. It feels like it probably should have been much larger, but it really isn't that big.
Cool.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, technical difficulties.
Just lost Dr. Dreyfus.
Oh,
We
shit.
lost him. He's gone. He got lost in stacks.
Oh,
back.
there he is.
He's returning slowly. No camera. There we go.
There he
we
is.
go.
Yes.
There he is.
There you are. You're back. Okay. So
Does that mean you
you
have to rearrange our faces?
nope. Everything went right back to the way that it was because he was the last one in the first place. So everyone's faces are in the right places.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm gonna try and make eye contact with Dreyfus and be like, what do we do? Do I take him down?
I would imagine that I am not eye contactable because I am probably hiding in a manner in which I can't be seen, but I also can't see.
Cool. Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna slip in behind this guy and hit him in the leg with a syringe full of morphine Sorta.
It's morphine, sorta.
They come
I
from
thought
the
you
same
said
family.
morphine soda.
No, it's
It's like a very different context.
it's
I can
heroin.
get down for that.
Oh, it's a
Because the only way he's down here, in my mind, is because he either knows about this cult, or knows about it, was part of it, etc., or is some other kind of magic person. And I want him a little disabled for this conversation, so I hit him in the leg with a syringe full of heroin, which is going to make him not feel a bunch of pain, but is also a -2 to all the things he tries to do.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Okay. Well. I think you may have to make a roll on this one.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yes, I think you're going to have to make
stealth or
a
athletics.
stealth roll because you're going to sneak up on him.
Cool.
Yep. And that would also get you your desperation, which is 3.
Cool. Desperation 3. Come on, no whammies.
Hey, not bad.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right. So you come up on him to stab him in the leg with this syringe of morphine family type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as you go to puncture it in him, so you do inject him with it, as it were. As you're puncturing his leg and pushing in, he turns his head to look at you in a very awkward manner. Like, he turns to look at you, but you get the distinct feeling that this is like moving is an awkward thing for him. And he turns his head, so it's an awkward turn, and looks at you. And as he looks at you, you realize that his head is turned a little too far for a person. And his eyes meet your eyes. And when they do, you get the distinct feeling that things are wrong here.
Okay.
Then he looks right at you and says, "Why did you do that?" It's a very calm voice.
So the drugs are in. The syringe is empty.
The syringe is empty.
Cool. I take a step back and say, "Because I thought you were an evil cultist."
He blinks slowly, almost languidly, and then says, "You thought I was a cultist?"
Yeah. This was a cult base, right?
And he turns his head back the other way, like he's not looking at you. He takes one step forward. He doesn't appear to be affected in any way by what you've done. This
Cool.
is the Dural Vault, made by Robert J. Dural. He takes another step forward. And at this point, Dr. Dreyfus, you can see this person.
Do I recognize this person?
You do not. But he does
That's
have the
cool.
Dean of Students pin on his lapel.
What are you? I haven't figured out how to ask that without it sounding kind of rude.
He turns around and gives you a smile, but when he smiles, his mouth is much longer than it should be. And he says, "Now that's probably the best question you could have asked." And at that point, his limbs begin to elongate, and his neck begins to elongate.
Nope.
And you have to make
Like,
a roll. I'm going to check which roll it is.
is this a mental effect?
I'm the Joker, baby.
You know what? It is a mental effect. And
It's worth the unnatural.
that is a thing for you, I understand.
Yeah. Aside from improving me physically, my serum fortifies my mind. which is why I popped it against that door. It's like, I don't want this to happen.
You must make a composure plus resolve roll is what you would what Dr. Dreyfus has to make for sure, because he can see this person as well. But in your case,
Okay, I can just spend a willpower.
Is that what it is?
What do I need to make?
Composure plus resolve. So basically a willpower roll, but not like based on your current willpower. Yeah.
Thwart the unnatural allows me to spend a willpower to automatically succeed where I would get a roll, and get a roll where I would automatically fail.
Which one is this one? Thwart the unnatural?
Yeah.
Thwart the unnatural.
Oh, I have that too.
Composure plus occult, depending on the nature of the endowment. So it's occult.
I also have hands-free and recognition, which means I know what he tried to do to my brain.
I have those too.
Hell yeah.
For abilities that would automatically affect them, the hunter instead may resist with an edge test. In both cases, they must spend a willpower to receive the benefits. All right, so you spend a willpower, and then you, instead of rolling resolve plus composure, you roll composure plus occult.
Okay.
Yippity-doo.
Oh, I thought it was just an auto. That's actually the same dice pool for me. I thought it was I thought the willpower was an auto thing in this case, but okay.
No, so you instead resist with this rather than the other, essentially. The hunter is immune just to the otherwise. Oh, okay, hold on. So long as they hold their object focus, which you're saying you don't have to because you have hands free, the hunter is immune to supernatural abilities that would otherwise require a resistance test. You're right. So it doesn't affect you by spending a willpower. Yeah.
I got 4 hits anyway, so I was like,
okay.
Nah.
Well, I mean, okay. So, Dr. Dreyfus, you also have that? Dennis? You also have the thwart the unnatural.
Yes, I am sensing that.
Yes. So you could spend a willpower, I guess, and negate the mental problem that you're about to get hit with. This is a terrify roll, so I'm not sure if this falls under this category. It's not a mental mind control thing; it's a terrify thing.
We did rule that it applied when it was the tree screaming.
Okay, then yeah.
Cool.
Then I guess we'll roll it here too. So just spend a willpower, I think, is what I'm reading, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Cool.
That's what I'm doing, yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
So both of you take superficial willpower damage as you fend off the terrifying visage of this thing as it elongates its limbs, stretching itself out, its face kind of stretching and turning, almost disappearing, and you find yourself standing in front of a man that reaches from floor to ceiling with long arms and long legs, wearing a dark suit.
Are you gonna answer my question?
What was the question?
Oh, what are you?
Well, there's no mouth on this thing anymore. Instead, it starts to walk towards you with these awkward movements.
Cool. Blam.
You fire your gun. All right.
I mean...
So, Dr. Dreyfus, a gun goes off. Alex, regardless of what you roll on it, the bullet hits the creature and appears to simply bounce away.
I do want to correct that. I'm going to throw a knife instead, though it would apparently have the same effect.
The knife goes flying through. So instead of a gun going off, Dr. Dreyfus, a knife goes flying through the air, and you watch as it hits the creature and falls to the floor.
Just bounces right off.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Can I book it up the stairs?
You can.
Okay.
I am going to wait and see if it chases after him, and then I'll book it up the stairs.
Running on the assumption that the doctor hasn't been detected.
Mm-hmm. So Alex runs up the stairs, her feet hitting the stairs with this clang, 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 because they are metal stairs, as they circle up in a spiral fashion, back up, like I said, that it was going down. The creature follows Alex, but only starts to go up the stairs before it seems to act a little bit like it's reluctant to continue going. Dr. Dreyfus, you are still down in the books. You can see the creature if you are trying to watch it. It starts to head up the stairs, takes about 2 steps, and then it seems to pause. Alex, you get to the top of the stairs. You're back inside the basement, standing in the doorway. The creature has not followed you up the stairs.
So I'm looking down like through the spiral staircase at it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Head is tilted up to you, but it doesn't seem to have eyes or ears anymore. It's just a head.
Like, what the fuck? We were having a conversation and you just like went monster mode? Come on, fucking rude. I'm just gonna wait and see what it does.
Okay.
I've got eyes on it.
It takes 1 step up the stairs toward you and pauses again.
Nah, you're not gonna do that, are you? If you come up here, people see you and you need to remain secret. You won't chase me any further. I can get out of this basement before you can get hands on me, which means we either talk or you turn back into your other self.
It stares at you like it's thinking.
Yeah. Big scary man in a basement. But I've got the position and you know it.
Dr. Dreyfus, are you going to
Side
do
question.
anything?
Side question, do I have any fire on me?
I am just waiting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I can. I'm not gonna certainly try to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll actually say you're lucky I don't have anything up here that would burn. Bet you wouldn't like that.
It starts to shrink again, slowly
Come on.
turning back into its human form.
That's what I thought. Let's have a conversation.
And as it does, a face begins to form, a mouth begins to form, and then it's back into its human form. It takes 1 step up the staircase, and then another, but you notice now that its walk was quite slow, because it's awkward for it to move. Dr. Dreyfus, you get a whole lot of sensing the unnatural here, by the way. If you didn't already know.
Yeah.
You're sensing unnatural like crazy.
I mean, I've got a medical degree. So I can pretty much tell you that no, the human body is not supposed to do that.
Quick macro comment. Have you been, like, up until this moment, have you been sensing the unnatural in, like, a theoretical way? And then it was like, oh, no, shit, that's unnatural.
No, I know it exists because I saw the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and I also, had a vampire as a client. Dreyfus is not a fighting man, and nor am I. I am old and frail, so I am hoping that Alex can draw this person up to the staircase.
So far, so good.
Mm-hmm.
The person now continues up the staircase.
And I'm going to back away. Okay. So you're some kind of stretchy golem thing. The masquerading is the dean of students.
Not masquerading. I am the dean of students.
Okay. Stretchy golem, dean of students. Cool. not one of the sins, are you?
The sins?
Okay, so no. Thanks. Um, vampire. I'm still like backing towards the stairs, back up into the
Sure.
public area.
What were you doing in the Dural vault?
The Dural. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
And he looks
I
back at the
found
room,
I
and then
found a
looks back.
glowy thing, and I poked it, and it messed with me a little bit. And then I went down some stairs and found some books.
And then
And
he
I know there was some
turns.
cult shit in this town a long time ago.
He turns and looks at nothing. But then he says, "Why did you let it in?" And you hear that sort of wind sound. And then he says, "Ah, so you're a hunter." And he turns back to you.
Yeah.
And is he still in the staircase, or has he?
No, he's
gone up?
now stepped out of the doorway that has the eye, or that has the Eye of Horus on it.
Yeah, we're in the.
Then I'm gonna try to move up the staircase slowly.
Okay. Only a hunter could see the sigil, or something. And then he starts to like scrutinize. He tilts his head slightly. Or I'm mistaken. Perhaps you are something else.
I mean, I'm a lot of things, but today Monster Hunter is certainly on the list.
Not a ghoul then. That explains
No.
the aura.
I mean, I came at you with the syringe because I'm like, real talk. I thought you were human, like I say, like a cultist or something. I
Yes,
was like, I need to have a conversation with this guy.
Cultists certainly do try to get access to the vault.
Yeah, the 5 orders, I think they call themselves. You know about them?
They're long dead.
Glad to hear it, honestly. But okay, what do we do now? Like, you don't seem like you want to kill me, and I'm not. I know some hunters are all gung ho, kill everything unnatural. That's not my style.
I protect the vault with this. And he motions to the air.
Oh, poking around in my head, friend.
Can you not see it? And he motions to the air again.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's on this side. And he motions to the other side.
You fuck. Okay. Well played, Stretchy Man. I'm Alex, by the way.
Alex. Good to know the hunters in town.
If you're
Alex.
just guarding some knowledge, I don't think we have a problem with you, BT Dubs.
Well,
what do they?
I also handle the students who are unruly.
Oh no.
No problemo. I'm not a student. What do they call you other than like Dean of Students and some human name?
Timothy is what they call me.
Oh my god, it's Timothy Chalamet.
God damn it, man.
I'm so sorry. It just comes out of me.
He's continuing to walk away from the door, by the way.
Cool.
Yeah,
At this point, I'm like
gonna try to.
Stairs.
If there's a way I can kind of slip,
Mm-hmm.
like around some of the stacks
Mm-hmm.
in the basement to join Alex.
I sense a stealth check.
I do sense a stealth check. However, I will grant you an additional die for Alex being a distraction.
Okay.
And
I'll take that.
I mean, it feels pretty desperate, but that's not yours is knowledge, so
Yeah, I would not say that it applies here.
So here's the deal, Timothy. We're worried.
Once again, 2 successes.
Okay.
We're worried about some people digging up a thing, like a big, powerful eldritch monster type thing. Also undead in the lake, but that seems like related to the thing. If you're pro eldritch thing wreaking havoc on the world, then one way or another I gotta kill you. If you're anti eldritch thing wreaking havoc on the world, then I'm like live and let live. So, and I put my hand on my pistol again. It's your call.
It's interesting that you think that would do anything at all.
It's fair, but you know that hunters are known for creativity.
That is something I have heard.
Like, monsters don't talk about us because we're funny.
Well, I don't guard the knowledge, as it were. I'm just the caretaker of the students.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of this eldritch horror, and so I would say that I don't care if you destroy it.
Okay.
However, I don't like the idea of hunters in my town, because hunters do eventually get tired of killing other things or investigating that which they don't know, and so they often will come for that which they do know.
Again, not our style. If you let me put it this way, you're not pro eldritch monster, that's great. You're pro protecting knowledge, also good. Real good odds, eldritch monster destroys your knowledge, which means, and take your time, think about it, we have a goal in common. Protect Morgantown.
I'm going to need you to make some kind of persuasion roll.
Cool. I'm definitely trying to play him into something. Can this be manipulation plus persuasion?
I'll accept manipulation plus persuasion for sure.
Hells to the yes. Come on, horrible monsters being our friends. Also, that meme, that gif, how dare you? Eyes in the palms of your hands is terrifying. Any bonuses?
I'm debating on whether or not
you're
your because your technically it says that your desperation comes in for stealth and subterfuge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of wondering if persuasion tracks in the same vein, because the idea is that not that you're. Yes.
Subterfuge is sort of the one for lying.
Yes.
This isn't lying, but it's like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of like a very fine line there because it falls in the idea that Alex is an underground hunter and does things with shady people all the time.
Mm-hmm. But I'm also being genuine. Like,
that's also true.
If this thing wants to help us stop the apocalypse.
What is your dice pool currently?
It is. I would say it is a shady dealing because
it's with a monster.
Yeah.
It's with a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah. What is your current dice pool?
5.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Have 3 more dice.
Hell, motherfucking.
And it does fit in with our chronicle tenets of the ends justifying the means.
Exactly. What's up?
Well, you said 3 more dice. Would it not be 4 because of me, or did we solve? Okay.
So the danger and desperation are different. Your danger is currently at 4.
Don't fuck me. Kind of fucked me.
Willpower time?
All right.
Yeah.
So you have
didn't reroll the 1.
3 successes and a potential overreach or despair. Which are you going
Yeah.
to choose?
Danger 5, though. That's bad.
So here's the thing, mechanically.
Yes.
If I choose to fill this role, it means he's not going to work with us.
Probably not.
Probably not. If I succeed this role and increase the danger, that means maybe this thing works with us, but other things get more involved in trying to kill us.
That or they're much harder to deal with because
Right.
they're more aware of your actions and movements.
Five is a lot.
No.
But it does make the story a little more interesting.
And like having a monstrous ally at the college with access to a library of secrets,
That's
a
true.
fucking Horus-powered spirit thing.
If we're ever being chased, we can run him here, and then he gets alerted, and then maybe we don't walk out, but
I'm gonna
he
succeed.
can hurt the monster.
I'm gonna up the danger.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
Let's make a scary friend. Let's make a scary friend.
Oh my god.
We'll reduce the danger later. We'll kill the werewolf.
Scary friend gained. He nods slowly and says, the terms seem fair for me. And then he looks at you with his eyes. He gives you like this glare. And he says, if at any time I suspect that you are not fulfilling to your end, this will go much differently the next time we see each other.
To clarify, my end is we stop the Eldritch God, protect the world, protect Morgantown, protect your stuff.
I understand.
Right. But that's the agreement we've made? Do you have other stipulations is what I'm asking.
Do not come to my university again without making me aware that you are on my campus. If I become aware that you are on my campus without first alerting me, then I will know that you've broken the terms of our conditions.
Copy that. Can I get your number?
Certainly.
I pull out my cell phone.
Yeah. And then he just
Oh, it's just
he,
a hot
he
date.
just riddles off his numbers.
Picturing him taking a business card out of his jacket pocket. Yeah, no, I mean he's a dean of students. He's got to have business cards. On.
Yeah, okay. He pulls it out of his
Right.
pocket and he hands it to
Whips it
you.
out like a
Pulls it out on his
Long
phone.
arm reaches out and hands it to you.
Which means that I have like
Got gold foil on it. That's good shit.
Yeah.
really putting my faith in
subtle
'cause I'm
off-white
like
coloring.
white coloring. I'm putting faith in our agreement as I like step to within his arm's reach
Mhm.
to take the card.
And he gives it to
Cool.
you and
Cool.
pulls his hand away slowly.
Okay. Right on.
He turns to the air again and he says, secure the vault, please. And the wall moves in and it looks like it seals up again.
Dreyfus is on this side though, right?
He is. He's hiding somewhere behind a shelf or something.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to move around to
Yep.
you.
And it's kind of hard because, like I said, it's disorganized, but it is. You do manage to move around.
Cool. Thanks for your help.
I don't believe I offered help, but you're welcome for me not killing you.
Yeah. Yeah, that. Okay, bye. And I just like I guess I'll leave in the hopes that he leaves and then the professor can slip out when there's only a ghost in the room. Is basically what I'm going for here.
Yeah. So you go up the stairs. Dr. Dreyfus, there's this awkward moment while you're in the basement, and this person, Timothy, doesn't seem to leave immediately. He kind of mills around in the basement for a while. It's like extra long. He's not really doing anything. He's not looking at any of the records. He's just kind of milling around. And then eventually he starts to head up the stairs. But it's like 20 minutes or so with him milling around.
Interesting.
And then he heads up the
Well,
stairs.
I will wait the 20 minutes because, yeah, like I said, I am not a fighting man.
Mm-hmm.
Second there, I was gonna be real glad I gave you that knife, and then I winged one at him and was like, "No, never mind."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so eventually it's just you in the basement. You and the wind in the drafty basement.
Yeah, I'll head upstairs.
Mm-hmm. And so up the stairs you go.
And out the door. And
Mm-hmm. Alex, are you waiting outside the
Hold
administrative
on.
building for Dr. Dreyfus with Bradley?
Yeah.
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 So you and Bradley are waiting outside the administrative building. You don't see the dean of students leave. Doesn't appear that he leaves the building, but eventually Dr. Dreyfus comes out.
Hey,
have you ever, Bradley? Have you ever had any dealings with the dean of students?
No, can't say that I have.
Interesting. Not interesting that you haven't had any dealings. I mean, faculty usually doesn't. But yes, he is not human.
Oh.
as we head off campus, I'm definitely gonna aside to the professor. So do you think he eats bad students?
I think he at least eats their memories because this school has had a unusually high rate of students coming to their counseling center with fugue states. That there's these students who are apparently getting into some sort of traumatic situation with no memories. My guess is that they are encountering this dean of students.
Well, let's talk about this once we're off campus.
Yeah.
And so you reach
I
the
think
edge of
yeah.
campus about the time that a black van rolls up with Ophelia and Joseph inside, who are there to save your lives, or so they believe, because you went into a second secret lair at the university.
Hey guys, what's up?
Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
The dean of
yeah,
students is a supernatural creature.
What?
Why
Huh?
wouldn't we be okay?
Secret lair.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 secret lairs.
2 secret lairs.
Yeah.
Scoot over, and I get
What
it.
was
Um,
that?
I'll just get in the van
Yeah.
and sit down and be like, yeah,
Moon song.
we met the dean of students, and he turned into an
Slender man.
indestructible, and yeah.
Sir, should I,
Slender Man exists.
Doctor, should I go get the car and bring it back to the safe house, or?
Actually,
no, we will not be staying at the safe house anymore.
I see.
You can head back to your apartment. I'll let you know if there's anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
All right. Bradley walks off, carrying
Hey,
his bag.
Bradley,
Yeah,
you're a real one.
and he heads off.
Perfect. Perfect, Bradley.
fucking awesome. Yeah, we stole a computer from whoever runs the apartment complex.
Yeah, and a suit.
They were spying on the whole
Does it
apartment
fit?
complex.
creepy.
It's kind of tacky looking, but you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I discovered. Turns out Aldo's part of some cheap trick religious cult. The burn scarred nun is probably in charge of it. I sent Father Martin to take a look into that. Unrelated to the fact that there's like a magic symbol in the basement of the admin building that opens a doorway into a library belonging to the old cult, not the new cult, the old cult. And then we got attacked by Slender Man, who's the dean of students.
Hold on. You lost
Well, I
me
wouldn't
at
say we
Scarface
attacked.
Nun.
We got attacked by the Slender Man.
We got aggressed by Slender
Wait,
Man.
Slenderman or the Slenderman? Or a Slenderman?
I don't
Why
know what a
not all
Slender Man
three?
is.
Was it a
Right.
Slender Man or a Slenderman? This is
It
an
was-
incredibly important distinction.
Okay, you ever see the what's his name from Fantastic Four when he like doubles his height
Mhm.
to be scary?
Yeah,
It's like that, but not as hot.
it's like a Slender Man.
I mean, it was clearly super, but yeah, like he was a normal sized guy, and then he was a real tall guy with no
yeah,
face.
for sure.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he was
No
Slender Man.
face.
Yes, he was Slender Man.
Fucking Topos.
I'm still
Hang on.
lost at who the
I
hell
show a picture of
is
Slender
the-
Man to the professor. Right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's microphones in every apartment, and they're tracking the comings and goings of every person in their room.
and
They're really
the-
tracking
and
their
the,
comings, huh?
And
Maybe.
and whoever and the pproperty manager is committing hundreds of cases of identity theft. I would know. I saw all the IDs that he stole.
Hang on. Does he have a nice place?
Yeah.
It's huge, yeah.
It's,
We're gonna blackmail his ass.
Yeah. We've decided this on the car right here. Like we're gonna blackmail him and then beat him up and steal his money.
Hell yeah.
I don't think
So,
he's a monster.
let me-
I mean, he's a monster, but
I mean, he's kind of a creep at the very
Yeah.
least.
Okay.
let me just make sure I'm understanding a few of the things that have happened outside of my presence. So,
Mhm.
Alex, you found out that
Alda.
Sister
Mary Angelique. Yeah.
Who's
Nah,
that?
Mary Angelique is part of some organization,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a
I'd
cult,
say.
and you decided to talk to her immediate boss.
Father
Even though he's
Martin.
our contact, you know, hopefully
figured-
he is not in league with her.
Question for the peanut from the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
Which people?
She
Father
never
Martin.
met. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We got called in by a
Yes.
guy named Father
Father
Martin to
Martin.
investigate some murders.
he's a Catholic
Yeah.
priest monster hunter.
Yes. And
Pleasant, little old fashioned.
And
He's
this
a bit on the nose.
Mary Angelique, so is one of the nuns at the
Sacred Heart Church.
That's part of the the Sacred Heart Church, and she tends to the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Who's talked a lot about rebirth to a point where it sounded more like how it's spoken of in pagan circles than in Christian circles,
Mm-hmm.
which was interesting to me. And the fact that she is leading an organization that is supernatural in nature, I hope that Father Martin is not in league with her,
Yeah.
Wow.
because then she will now know that we know. And then now, so the place that we are moving to be safe in, you've now basically directly challenged the person who was managing the property and are going to blackmail.
Well, not
so that
directly
we
challenged.
can be in control of the property.
Mm-hmm.
Just your basic takeover.
Yeah.
We have enough
I-
evidence to
I-
send him to prison
For a long time.
I'm just, while I agree that somebody who is surveilling the entire building complex is nefarious, no doubt. One thing I am learning is that many of the nefarious activities in this town are connected to people with considerable power within this town. So I don't know if we are just making ourselves a target with every single nefarious actor in Morgan City. I
Not
fear we
Slender
are
Man.
developing far more. True, but he, I think, at best will be neutral.
And
So-
might be eating memories. So
For what
And
it's
might
worth,
be eating food.
So
we destroyed any records that it was us doing the B&E.
okay.
I mean, you do good work, Joseph. And from what I've seen, Ophelia, you do good work. But this feels like it is starting to exceed our.
wait, hold on.
I'm
It
gonna be
didn't
right back,
sound
guys.
like it was exceeding what we might be capable of when we fought a giant tree that was obviously going to eat us, when against a huge mega corporation who now has eyes on us. Tried to fuck with I guess like a super drug that has
Well, no, I
connections
mean,
to
I'm talking about the
werewolves?
sum of all of these things, not just the one thing. It's this is
you-
just now we've gone from four overwhelming things to six overwhelming things. So I mean,
Well, I
while
mean,
it's not doubling in number, it's still significant.
I mean, I don't know how to break this to anybody. I don't think us blackmailing a guy at this point is. I think that's probably the least we have done. I am pretty sure out of everything we could have possibly done or touched or looked at or been in the presence of, us telling some guy, hey, stop doing what you're doing, you fucking weirdo, is probably the least of our worries.
Listen, what we'll do, because we have to confront this guy eventually. You can like tell when something's wrong,
Like,
right,
oh,
Doctor?
right.
Let's, before we confront him, maybe let's check to see the chain of ownership of this housing complex to make sure that it isn't, I don't know, a few holding companies and shells away from, Barron's Health Group? Or,
I could check my lease.
well, I think it would be buried far above the lease.
The lease is
But
a good place to
I
start.
think that's a good place to start, to find out who that company is, to find out who owns that company, to find out who owns that company. I mean, I think that is definitely a something you should probably. You would be the one who would do it, Joseph, I'd imagine. You are our computer guy,
Yeah, I can
as
check my
every
list.
team should have.
Of course, the man in the van.
Yes.
I can check and look at all Barron and Lancaster's holdings and see if any of their holdings and their holdings have this place as a holding.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
We know the
Was
guy
it
eats
Lancaster
human
that was
food.
over all of this stuff?
Baron and Lancaster are the big boys.
Yeah, I think Lancaster might be the
Baron
big one.
Lancaster. Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
he eats food. It looks like. So I don't think he's a vampire. He might be any 1,000 other nasties, but
Or hear me out. This guy's just a guy.
I do. That is my hypothesis.
Yeah.
He's just a
I
creep.
mean,
I'm
Maybe a ghoul.
Let's-
to be fair, we thought that Patty chick was like something. And she was just a
Mhm.
human.
According
Yeah.
to her.
Didn't Mama Gigi tell us she wasn't?
That's right, yeah.
Like, there are people who are just,
Yeah.
corrupt.
Well, and I think we just need to cover ourselves just to make sure
Mhm.
that your housing complex isn't indirectly owned by other people we've angered.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I actually brought his computer here with us. I want to look at it before we go back.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eh,
So you want
Um,
to look through the records that you have gotten from Baron and Lancaster's computer systems to find out if potentially Ophelia's Purity Meadows is owned by them through a series of shell corporations. And you want to check John Etienne's computer.
Yeah, for just
And-
anything we missed.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
While you're at it,
Go ahead.
while you're at it, could you get me like, there's a couple people on that list of like corporate owners who I'd like extra details on. This guy, and this guy Marius.
Okay. You talking addresses, phone numbers, where their kids go to school?
He doesn't have kids, but otherwise, yeah.
And also Alex's hit list then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
And it is currently sometime around 3-ish in the afternoon, about an hour or so before Mama Gigi is supposed to show up at the chicken shack to start the nighttime cooking stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get going soon, guys. I got an outing with an elderly woman in a chicken coop.
I mean, there's no reason that the rest
Hot.
can't come with you,
Yeah,
in that you're all in the
what-
same van.
Well, yeah, you need a chaperone.
And also, apparently, Joseph's going to sit in the back of the van and do a bunch of stuff with the computer anyway.
Yeah, drinking Mountain Dew and probably growing acne in real time.
All right. So you can head that way. I don't know if you're planning to drop the others off anywhere. Or are you all going? I mean,
it
At the very
feels
least,
safe
you
to
could
be on
eat
the
chicken.
property.
Yeah.
Food would be good.
Yeah.
So we made the deal with Peggy
Patty.
at Patty.
Mm-hmm.
What time was it?
It was late at night. It was like
midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
evening-ish, because it was like 2-ish a.m. when you went after the werewolf. It's really only been about 14 hours since you made the deal.
Okay, because I said 24.
Yep.
Which means we've got another, 10
Yep.
before we've officially broken our word by still being here.
That's a whole work day. We're good.
Fair, but
Yeah.
still feel like we could get more out of her.
Plus overtime.
Joseph, I'm going to
Yes.
have you make a resolve in technology roll because you're going to be going through a bunch of stuff, and it's going to be the resolve aspect of like staying awake and not getting bored while you go through bazillions of files and things, right?
Yeah, this does not feel like my specialty or my creed field, so
Nope.
it is just 7 dice.
Just 7 dice.
And just to really sell it, 4
You-
successes.
You are the technology guy. So 4 successes. All right. So parsing through. So Ophelia eventually will roll up to like the parking lot of the chicken shack, and you guys, the 4 of you get that safe feeling again that you had before, like that it was a warm, friendly place. Dr. Dreyfus, you were here before, but now you get you get the distinct understanding that the reason you're feeling this is because this place is warded. That's why it feels so warm and friendly and protected. Which just goes to solidify what you already thought about the place, or what the others already know, in that Mama Gigi is some powerful hunter person.
Got some mojo.
Got some mojo for sure. She gave you a mojo bomb, as it were, right? So, All right,
Oh,
Joseph.
Austin Powers.
You go through the files, and as you dig through, you end up discovering that yes, indeed, it eventually leads back to Baron and Lancaster. Now, it appears that there's a partner, an unnamed partner in the Purity Meadows project, but there's like a series of corporations, and it's very obviously Barons and Lancaster that owns it, and Lancaster Construction that built it.
Yeah. Is Etienne just like an employee, or do I find anything that indicates he reports to somebody directly?
John Etienne was placed as the community manager immediately upon determining that there would be a management team. And when you go through his computer, you discover a lot more than you bargained for. There's a lot of footage.
Get 'em.
A lot of footage. But you begin to see there are some parts of the building that clearly don't have coverage, the basement being one of them. You have a service entrance that you see people come and go, but in the footage, you see a couple of things that immediately raise your flags. One, the camera footage from the service entrance, occasionally a group of motorcyclists that you recognize because you've run into them many a time, roll up to the service entrance. It opens, and John Etienne hands them packages, which they then take and leave with. You also see people come in, and you have their access badge information. You see them badge into their apartments, and then you never see them leave again. Their badges never get used again. They never seem to go out, and in the footage, you don't ever see them anymore. You also notice a strange amount of usage by John Etienne's personal access badge getting into some apartments, which appear to be like he's touring, but sometimes those apartments are apartments that people live in, because you see their access badges getting used, then you see his badge, and then you don't see their access badges getting used anymore. Ever again.
He's fully killing people.
Yeah, or feeding them someone else or whatever, yeah.
It explains all of the IDs.
And the silence.
Mm-hmm.
And was milk made with some human DNA or some weird shit like that?
There
There's
was
human
human
DNA
DNA in the milk.
So maybe we can't stay at Purity Meadows, but we can ice John, right?
Hang on, if they're producing milk in the basement, then not only can we ice John, we might be able to corrupt their formula. Break the recipe.
We evacuate the building and then blow it up?
But
They'd know
if
if
we do
something
that,
was wrong if we evacuate.
and not to mention, if we evacuate and blow it up, we kill innocent people.
Well, we get the people out and then we collapse
And
the
how-
basement.
How do you expect a group of, how many are there of us? 4? A group of 4 assholes trying to get out.
The fire alarm might be able to do it, but here's what I'm
That's
worried
nice.
about.
Yeah.
If we drop the building,
Mhm.
they're just gonna set up somewhere else.
True.
I'm still
We have to get in the basement and see how, involved is this setup.
Mhm.
We still never looked into their chemist.
That's true, Aurora, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the deal was that we wouldn't go near her, but if we're getting prepped to... Okay. It seems like we're getting prepped to make some real moves here.
What is wrong with this fucking city?
Monsters. Okay. So,
In Louisiana. To
we
be
now
fair.
know a production site. We know a guy who's been killing a bunch of people. We can off him quietly. If our timing is good, we can off him without the rest of the organization knowing it's happened. So that's probably what we do first.
Yeah.
Blow
We know
up a
he
building,
leaves.
that's big.
We know
Stealing
he
the scientist.
leaves.
Go ahead.
We know he leaves. We know he walks during the day.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can find out when he leaves. We make it look like a mugging.
Okay, but we have to get him before he gets back to his room and discovers his computer is gone.
when I look at his
Which
swipes,
might
what's
already
his
have
daily
happened.
schedule look like?
It's sporadic at best.
So we may have to haul ass on that.
Yeah, we might have already missed that opportunity, but I mean, I guess we could just kill him in his house. They're gonna notice when he stops talking,
But that still gives us a couple of hours. And if we're gonna
I
take
mean,
out the werewolves and the lab,
once he's home, he's called somebody. But I don't know.
I mean, yes, we need to be discreet and not telegraph any of our things. But I am pretty sure that they realize that we have a lot of knowledge about them. And
Okay,
I think so that, I mean, so yes, we need to be quick. We need to be, make sure that they don't see our next move. But we don't have to be so discreet because they do already know who we are and that we are, that they are.
Right.
We're
I'm saying we open with discretion and then we go shock and awe.
I think I might have an idea.
A couple of decisive strikes.
He doesn't have to know that we know more than he's a creep. He probably uses a password manager because it's 2022. I can send an email to his email, which he gets on his smartphone. Subject line: we know you're a creep, and give him a meeting place. Tell him to come alone.
So you play dumb human.
Right. We're just extorting a creep. We're not even on a moral crusade. We just want money.
Okay.
He shows up. Deal goes bad. No more John.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's the move after that, though?
We also have to think under the lines of we think he's gonna come alone, but there's a good chance that he doesn't.
We move carefully. We look at our surroundings.
So, yeah. Hostile factions right now. We've got John, we've got Baron's Lancaster, we've got the werewolves. If the werewolves come to back him up, a silver bomb plus bullets. Like, we tried to separate them, but I don't know if we have time to do that. God,
we have our ward bag. We can buy some silver. I can whip up an IED.
Still think we should rob a jewelry store, but
the problem with robberies, then we get the cops on our tail. We can pull our cash together.
You already have the cops on your tail.
We have one cop.
But a robbery is like a
God,
ongoing...
I forgot about him. Ugh.
And he's definitely in the pub.
Of course he did. Listen.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull some strings.
Okay.
I do have that guy that's supposed to be giving me my delivery soon, so.
Ooh, you could, instead of like a rock salt shotgun, like silver pellets.
Yeah, I mean, you give me a little bit of silver and some time, I can see if I can get together. Just remember, I do make weapons.
If you could silver some knives as well, that'd be super helpful for me.
I'll see what I can do.
So,
meanwhile, you see out of the front of the van, Mamba Gigi rolling up. Your car is clearly driven by our good old friend, whose name I have forgotten all of a sudden. Give me a second.
Discount Blade.
Discount Blade, yes. Discount Blade.
Thrift store Blade, okay.
Wasn't Amos.
Blade.
Was it Darn?
Bargain
No.
Blade?
I forget his name.
Blade.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up later because I can't seem to find it. And I didn't write a note on it. It's in the notes for the sessions, so I'll find it. He rolls up and he opens the door. She gets out. She stretches as old people often do when they've been in a car ride, even though it was probably fairly short. and she starts walking toward the shack. Every person that's eating outside, they all, say hi to her, and she like takes time at each of the tables to say hi to them. You can get this like very matronly feel off of it. She's very much like, "Oh, thank you for coming," that kind of thing. Like she seems to know them all and like all of the kids' names and everything. Like she's definitely part of this community. And then she goes inside the shack.
All
You
right,
got a
Ophi.
meeting, right?
Yeah.
Pick a cute one.
What?
What?
Don't
What?
do drugs in front of them.
What?
Ray, that was his name. Ray.
Ray. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna, if you guys want to join, feel free. If not, I don't know. Watch Joseph be like.
I'm up to my ass in binary.
Just see the numbers feeding on.
I actually
you're
think
I'm in.
fucking nerd.
I think after having her brain plumbed by some sort of weird deity thing, and then having to just go super brave with Slender Man, Alex is gonna find a table, order some chicken, and smoke a joint.
that tracks. That tracks.
What else do you need?
Yeah. The girl that brings it out to you is the one that was there this morning, and she's like, "Didn't y'all leave?" And she gives you your chicken, and she's just like she's messing with you. She's clearly like joking.
It's the best chicken in town. What can I say?
Hey, your
It's
money.
true.
Your money is good money. She takes your money from the table and like walks off.
Well, and the thing is that it is really good chicken on top of
It is the best chicken
like,
in town.
like it isn't just like, okay, here's this nexus of like, protection in this den of iniquity. It's also the chicken's fucking good.
This is a den
If
of
anything,
iniquity.
that's part of the ward. Is like the cooking is,
Yeah. Everyone has like positive feelings when they're there. Just keeps powering the ward. Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what, Professor?
yeah.
This is a den of iniquity. An absolute den.
There's a lot of evil shit going on here.
Did we tell you about the specters coming off the lake? There's like ghosts coming off the lake, and this whole family's been fighting them. They're like trying to drag people in and
out of the
drown them.
back of the van. Yeah, Ghost Lake ghosts.
Wait,
Like-
what else did I miss? Oh my goodness.
We didn't deal with this directly. Mom and Gigi told us about it last night.
Oh,
God, last night.
good. Okay.
Oh, shit. I fought a tree.
Yeah. No,
I fought a tree with a bunch of mouths. Shit was scary.
So Ophelia, do you go into the shack to meet with Mama Gigi?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you come
Yeah.
in, they're busy working, and normally people don't just like walk in. Like there's like you can walk into order, but then you don't stay in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you walk in, they're busy doing stuff, and she's like, she's talking to them and sort of explaining how they messed up some of the recipes for some things, but in like the friendliest manner, like, now you're not supposed to put that much salt in the collard greens, like that kind of thing as you come in. But like, it's fine, it'll be all right. We'll just throw in a little bit of extra stock, and like trying to offset. She's like explaining how to offset the fact that they screwed up, but like very obviously they were screwing up. But like the thing is that nobody out there eating the food has recognized that there was a mistake at all. So it's just like the finest amount of mistake. That's why she's not being super angry about it. But then Kylie, right, she starts telling Mama about how Amos messed up the grits earlier, or Darnell messed up the grits earlier, and she's like, she just looks at him, she gives him like this like evil eye, like, how could you possibly mess up the grits? And then you come walking in, like you're standing there when this happens, and she's like, "Oh, welcome back, child. Come on in. Come on in."
Thanks. And she gives an awkward wave to Kylie and to the others, and She kind of makes her way to Mama Gigi's side. Um, hope things have been well.
Yes. Now, if you're gonna stand next to me, though, and she hands you like a knife, you're gonna have to chop
Oh.
up some chicken.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And then she slides a
Sure.
whole chicken over to you and expects you to like start trimming off the meats and stuff.
Sure, I'm sure that I worked in the kitchens at the base. This should be fine. She just chops right into the chicken.
It's fine. You can't mess it up. Just cut off some chicken bits and throw them off to the side. Put the bones over there in that garbage can. And she points to the garbage can that's very clearly almost full of bones.
Hard to miss. We wanted to thank you for all of your help last night. It definitely it's very much appreciated. And I wanted to maybe talk to you. I know that you said that your family helps each other out, and we need help, and so I'm willing to help y'all out if you might be willing to help us out. We're in as you know from last night, we're in a situation that seems to only be getting worse.
Well, what kind of trouble you in? Last I heard, you was just messing with that corporation.
I think at this point she's just kind of put the knife down, lean in, and start to kind of go into slightly more detail of all of the other stuff they got into today, including the business about her apartment building.
Yeah, that boy, John. I always knew he was bad. He was the cats in the neighborhood used to go missing. We used to suspect he was up to something. And Kylie goes, "Oh yeah, no, I've seen him. He's a creepy ass man, that's for sure."
Yeah, we found out that he was bugging a bunch of our apartments, mine included. So,
She just makes it like a clicking noise with her tongue.
Yeah, none of us, I haven't been living here that long, and at first I thought it was just, it was a bit suspicious. The apartments.
Kylie kind of interrupts. She goes, "Mama, isn't that little girl, that Lizette girl, doesn't she live in that Purity Meadows?" And Mama Gigi just starts nodding and goes, "Yeah, I think she does." Like, "Oh, well, ain't she the one that's missing?" And then Mama says, "I don't know." And then she pulls out her phone and she looks, and there's very clearly like a local alert for a missing girl named Lizette. Last seen at Hope's Garden. That's what it says.
So, that name ring any bells?
For you?
Is
No.
that the garden that the nun
For
runs?
for you, it doesn't ring any bells.
Okay.
The answer to your question, Dr. Dreyfus, is yes. That is the garden. And Lisette, you might not remember because it was several episodes ago, is the teenage girl that you met.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
But you're not here in this conversation.
Yes, you're right.
You were not in this conversation. So, Ophelia, you have no clue what that means or who that's about.
That's quite a shame.
Kylie goes, I'm a little worried now, Mama. You think that maybe there's a reason she's gone missing in the same building that creeper John Etienne was bugging? She's like, I don't know, child. I don't know. It doesn't sound good.
To be fair, we got some really, really weird vibes from from the penthouse that he lives in. I mean, you should see this place. This place is like you couldn't hear a pin drop. It's that silent. It's creepy. Like the walls aren't hollow. The place is bugged, even though it doesn't seem bugged at first. I mean, the only reason we even discovered it is because one of our guys is really good with the computers.
Kylie starts searching through her phone while you're talking to Mama Gigi. She's like, well, child, that isn't the reason you came, though, is it? Just wanted to talk to someone?
No, I
didn't think so. Mom Gigi knows these things.
I know that you. Again, I know that you're very protective of your family, and I know that you guys have been dealing with a lot of stuff, especially what's been going on the lake. And I was wondering if maybe we could work something out. I ain't got much to me, you know. I know how to use a couple weapons, and I can take a beating. But sometimes that's needed in a group, and I know that our group, my little ragtag team of misfits,
Your
we
hunter
really
cell, honey.
appreciate it.
They're your hunter cell.
That hunter cell. I've been on this job for a day and a half, maybe two. I don't know all of the terminology, but I am good at what I do, and if I can be of help to you, maybe you could be of help to us. Kind of, you know, we watch each other's backs.
Child. She moves you to the side. She's like, you don't have to ask Mama Gigi or the Gigi family to watch your back. You're obviously one of the good ones. You can come into my ward anytime you want.
We appreciate that. And if I can, like I said, if I can be of
No,
any
but I
help
mean,
to-
you obviously aren't evil. Otherwise, the ward would keep you out.
we're not evil.
I know that.
We might be a little bit stupid, but you know, we're not evil.
Well, you're taking on Brandon Lancaster. You're awfully stupid. I feel like there ain't no brains up in there. And she taps your head playfully.
Preach.
Yeah, and even the smartest of us are dumb enough to go along with the plans. So
Just out with it, child. You're asking for us to watch your back, and you watch our back. Is that right?
yeah.
That's fine.
Was that all?
And I know, and I mean, I don't know how to put this. I would be willing to. I mean, not that you necessarily need me. I know that you said that like that you handle business within the family. And I know that you tried to hook our friend Joseph up with one of your grandchildren, nieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm any way that I can be of service.
Listen, I got a grandchild or two who's also into girls. It's not a question. Listen, if you're sweet on any of them, I will introduce you.
I mean, I'm not.
Kylie looks over. She's like, Mama, come on.
I text Ophelia, "Are you married yet?"
But Kylie pulls up a picture of this Lisette girl. Mama Gigi says, "Listen, child, it's fine. We can work on those details later. You're not going to get married tomorrow." But she holds up the picture. She's like, "Yeah, if you see this girl," Kylie holds up the picture. Just, she's missing, so hopefully you can find out what happened to her. The girl she shows you is your next door neighbor. You've seen her in the hall once or twice.
Oh,
She's roughly 18-ish.
Yeah, no, I know this girl. Her apartment's like right next to mine. Um, yeah, yeah. You mind sending me that photo? I'm gonna run it by the
Mhm.
rest of the group.
Kylie sends it to you because, if you don't remember, you gave her your phone number earlier today.
Yep. Yep. That I did. Thank you. And like I said, if you guys need any help with whatever the hell's going on out there,
Amos, he was getting ready to go home. He's like, well, I'm going to go take a nap because forecast looks like cold weather, Mama, he says. And she goes, mm-hmm. And then as you start to leave, Kylie starts to go with you. She's like, they're saying that they think there's going to be fog tonight. Just letting you know. If you really want to help.
I do. Got it.
So their coded
Thanks.
language of not saying what they're saying.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I'll be there tonight.
Alex, you get a text from Mark who says that they're a couple hours out and will be coming in sometime after dusk to Morgan City.
She stares at her phone.
Ophelia texts Alex back, not yet.
Uh-huh.
And so we will end in this note as Alex finds out that her friends are on the way. Ophelia finds out that the missing girl is her next door neighbor. Joseph finds out that John Etienne is something evil and that the Corporation of Evil owns their new safe house. And Dr. Dreyfus finds out that he's in way over his head with a whole group of people that seem to just walk into these things.
Insane, whatever the opposite of risk averse is,
Madhouse.
maniacs.
Yeah.
Really, he should be used to a madhouse, of all things.
All right, everyone. We'll catch you at the next episode of Draining the Swamp. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.